What's up, everybody? Wolf from Walmart. We're back. We're back, baby, again.
Not a bad fish right there, guys.
No.
Out here catching Folsom bass right now, dude. Woo, he's a little chunker. What up, what up, what up, what up? 'Tis I, your host of the Whole Angler Podcast, Dave Erkey. How's it going? I am still in my work attire. Yes, it has been a very long day indeed. This is a later recording, and I feel even more horrible for my guest because this is way later for him. So I apologize ahead of time. But first and foremost, let's do this. What up, dudes and dudettes? I'm sure you're tired of hearing my voice by now, but you're going to hear it for a little bit longer because this is a shout out to the sponsor of this show, Kayak City. Kayak City has been taking care of me ever since I started getting into a boat and paddling around in the water trying to catch some fish. And when I tell you it is Kayak City, it is literally like a city of kayaks. They have Bonafide, Eddy Line, Feel Free, Hobie, Jackson, Native, New Canoe, Old Town, Wilderness Systems, and so many used kayaks. I stopped trying to count them a long time ago. If you guys are looking for accessories, they have walls and walls and walls of accessories. They have one wall dedicated specifically to Yak Attack, and it is a massive wall. Kayak City is your #1 Yak Attack dealer here in Northern California. If you want to know where it is, stop by at 7812 Auburn Boulevard, Citrus Heights, CA. Roll through, say what up to James, Troy, Eric, Scott. Tell them Dave says what's up and tell them I sent you there. Thanks for listening. Also, a huge shout out to Drew Gregory in the Kayak Adventure Series. Thank you, dude, for everything you do for the show. I fully appreciate you helping us out over here. And also, if you guys are interested, electrolytes. I will scream it from the rooftop. I am somewhat of a healthy person, but when I get on the water, I get dehydrated immediately. And I found this out in skateboarding years ago that I was getting dehydrated and I started doing this stuff. I've been doing it for a few years now. And when I get in the kayak, this stuff snaps me right back into reality. It's the Element, LMNT, if you guys are into a salty beverage and good it's just electrolytes. It's sodium, potassium, magnesium, like in high doses, everything that you need to get your head back in the game. So jump on that. I have a link. Check it in the bio on the Instagram. And other than that, without any further ado, I bring to you the creator of this wonderful USS Honeypot sticker, Sir Paul Glass.
What's up?
What's up, dude?
I am a big proponent of electrolytes. I used to drink beers when I started fishing because that's like what you were supposed to do. And then I realized that I felt like dog dirt after I would go fishing, and I'd be like, what could that be? Maybe it's because I had 7 beers and I was, completely fried after 8 hours of fishing. And I switched to Gatorade.
Oh yeah.
Never looked back, dude. I wasn't even like good or old or an Instagram or anything. I had no social media. I just was like, this is horrific and I'll never do it again. I'd be walking my dog, just throw up from being dehydrated, like after fishing.
Dude, right. Oh,
casual.
Man. So like before fishing, it was skateboarding, and like when I was out there doing that all the time, like you don't think about water. You don't. You just think about like you're just eye on the prize.
Well, your craft.
Yeah, and then by the time you get done with the day, you feel like there's steam coming out of you versus like, and you just have salt all over your body. I was like, I'd just pass out. I'd feel so sick. It was just So once I got into these, I was game changer for me. But I can't do the Gatorades. Well, I can because I like sugar, but not when I'm like super thirsty. I can't do like this sugary stuff. It just no.
Gatorade Zero, giant water, good enough for 6 to 8 hours for me. And I have not, seriously. I was a walking headache for years, and I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that anymore.
Yes. See, my buddy suffers from headaches, and I tell him, I'm like, dude, try this stuff. But he also
play
has
rugby for a decade and then try and do that.
Oh, hell no. But he also has like blood pressure stuff, so the sodium content in these is kind of high. So he would sacrifice basically eating flavor food. Yeah. So, dude, how are you, my man? Like we talk about this hour all the time, but how are you?
Yeah, I was gonna say this is actually pretty regular. Like I did all the stuff that I usually do now 2 hours ago when my wife went to bed. So I worked on. We're in the Kayak Adventure Series.
Yes.
Spoiler alert. And I had a whole build planned out, and then I was seeing other people's builds, and I switched it just because I want to do something different than everybody else. I just want to do something different. I don't actually care about winning. I just want to do something different.
Yeah.
And so I did something totally different. And we got the Garmin Force Current. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to do something unique. So I changed it. Then I saw the people's builds. I was like, well, maybe I'll change it back. And we're going back and forth and back and forth. And I was finally like, screw it. I'm just doing the one that I want to do. And so I also was on vacation for like forever. And so now I'm scrambling to get this done and like, for the due date to get everything submitted for it.
Yes.
So I put in my electrics breaker. I put in just some basic stuff that like just needs to be done. Cleaning up loose ends. But I installed the Force Current. You probably saw my short. I don't know if you did.
I saw your short.
I put it up. It's in there.
It's so cool. It's so cool. I mean, your guys' video, I did one at the shop the other day. So, yeah, but I involved my son. But yeah, dude. I mean, I had to pick him up from school. It's got to happen.
It's life.
Yeah, but no, I put that on those kayaks and I was like, I want to try this thing so bad.
Oh my God, dude. I'm hyped. Like, and what bothers me about the release is so many people are complaining about the price. And I'm like, I get that it's not free, but hear me out. You can, the whole 12 volt, 24 volt thing saves you a ton of money.
Absolutely.
If you could just go with the 12 volt and if you already have one, which a lot of these people who are going to be buying this motor probably already have a 24 volt laying around, right?
Yeah.
It's actually not that much money because you're getting the stern mount motor that you want and also the trolling motor that you want. So it's like you're getting the best of both worlds. And I feel like people are kind of ignoring the fact that you now do not have to buy or carry two motors. And the motor only weighs 25 pounds.
Dude, I had my son pick it up. I was like, yes.
Giddy over the weight. And and everything's wireless.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like hot.
No more holes. Oh, dude. Yeah. That's why I put it on the Outback first. Cause I'm like, this is going to be, now I failed because
the pedals are big.
Yeah. I didn't remove the bar. It's basically, if I remove the bars on both sides, it would be good. But
I took the rail off. I didn't use the 90 rail. And what I did was I took the HD, the old Yak Attack HD top load racks, the really skinny ones.
Yeah.
And I bolted them to the sides of where the pedal tracks are supposed to be. I bolted them with washers on the inside of so it's like super heavy duty. And then I bolted and then I put the Garmin's on that.
Track.
Dude, that was smooth. It's rock solid.
It looked sick. When I saw it, I was like, oh, it's so clean.
It's clean. It's super clean. I don't even want to put the kickstands on it. There's a little kickstand. I think I'm gonna try it without them because oh my God. Well,
just get in there and push them first because I had to put them on the Hobie. I had to.
I think so.
But when I put them on the Native, the mounting, they're pretty solid. So we'll
see what happens. Right. I got to be able to paddle with them pretty good. So I'm gonna have to leave. It doesn't matter though. It is the one cable in the back, the way it attaches. It's so Garmin. They have a whole like mounting bracket for the plug. I'm like,
yes,
bro,
the support bracket.
They overbuild everything. Dude, I freaking love it.
I loved it. And then I'm sorry, we'll stop talking gear talk to you in a minute. We'll, this is basically what we do.
Yeah, I know. This is my fault.
But no, it's all good. But at the end of the day, those pedals, once they're in the track, dude, I don't know if you tried to unscrew them and screw them back in. You can do it from a sitting position. So if the pedals get in the way, you just unscrew them, dude. And the bolt doesn't go anywhere. The bolt stays in there. So I
can't wait.
Yeah. You just put them in your pocket.
Oh my God, I can't wait. And so I put I put that on the Crescent Smalley for people that haven't seen it. And the Crescent Smalley only weighs 65 pounds or 80 pounds or something like that. Yeah. Floated out, it's 85, I think. It's gonna freaking shred, dude.
Did you drop the motor? Did you set the motor to the depth that you wanted to?
No, I haven't messed with it yet. I haven't got in the water yet. I'm going to.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's easy. It's a little. You could do it kneeling on the back. Yeah.
Cannot wait.
Oh, dude, I'm stoked. I'm stoked for you because I don't get to go put that one in the water. That's like exactly what I did is what it's for.
Yeah.
But dude, I'm stoked for you. So, and then after we get off the green room.
Yeah.
After this, remind me, I talked to Jason Woods today. He lives right over there.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyways, so dude, sorry, that was like way. Hey everybody, how's it going? We're gonna start talking about people now. Paul, dude, I want to get into your childhood But first
Sure.
and foremost, where are you? Where do you live at? Like, where are you at right now? Because you just moved. So where are you
I
at?
just moved 500 yards from my old house. So
Oh,
I'm in Michigan.
okay.
We'll call it Ann Arbor, but like
Okay.
I'm in like a small town outside of Ann Arbor, which is like, well, I hate large towns. Like when I drive by the city of Ann Arbor, which is
Mhm.
not like a huge city at all, but when I drive by it, I get like angry. I'm like, man, I don't want to deal with these people. And then I got to go to Detroit for like, a flight or something. I'm like, oh God. Like I got my one street downtown. I know everybody in my town. I know everyone on like the Chamber of Commerce. Like I love my little like dinky town. So yeah, small town USA, Ann Arbor
I love it.
ish.
I love it, dude. My homie Nick lives right above Detroit in Canada. I guess there's a section of Canada that's like South Detroit or something.
Yep.
And
Oh yeah, 100%. So I have a place right in that area. So
oh, nice. Yeah.
I am not less than 2 hours from Ann Arbor is like
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I was just say if you ever want to have a fun guy to go out with, I know you got Jeff, but if you ever need another fun guy to go out with, I can connect you with my buddy Nick. I love every time I go to Columbus every year, like me and Nick always buddy up, dude.
Yes.
Like he's the homie. So all right, dude, let's get
Then when
into
you
this.
come to Columbus, we should all do that.
I cannot go to Columbus this year. I am so sad. This is the first year that I'm gonna miss, and because the baby is due at the end of February, I'm not gonna bail for
A
4
fishing
days.
show?
Yeah, 4 days in that like window of necessity time to be here. So yeah,
I was ice fishing 2 days before my son was born. It was so close. If my new job didn't start, my son was born the first day of my new job.
Oh,
I got there at
okay.
8 for like orientation, and they were doing like an icebreaker. And I get a text from my wife who was like doing everyday check-ins because we were 10 days overdue.
Mhm.
And she goes, "Baby's coming, get over here." And I was like, my fun fact is I have to leave.
Yep. The fact is, you guys are second.
Yes.
Dude. So okay, so childhood. Where and when were you born, man? Because we're similar in age. So where and when?
Similar-ish. 80. I was born in 87, so
Okay.
I just turned 38. Was born in where was I born? Royal Oak, Michigan, which is not too far from here actually. But then we moved all over. So I grew up kind of in like the church, oddly enough. We actually did a missions trip to India. So I was there when I was like 4 to 6. It was like a year and a half. So yeah, I was in India for a while, and then we came back, and we were supposed to have like money and a place to live and all the stuff. We had none of that because life and church and everything else.
Yeah.
And my dad was like, wow, screw this and done. So he had a degree in education. So he became like a teacher in the middle of nowhere in a school that was like literally half the size of the town that I live in now.
Oh.
And I grew up basically for the rest of God, all the way up until high school when I graduated, just like flipping houses and moving like every year and a half. So once the tax situation was like, hey, you can make all the money on your, sold home and you lived in it for long enough, we would live in houses and flip them. That's how like we made money on the side when my dad taught and kind of worked his way up to eventually become like superintendent in the state of Michigan from a bunch of different schools. And so yeah, we just moved all over. I lived like in northern Michigan, and like literally every year and a half, we would just like move somewhere else wherever we could find the best deal for our house and work on it, flip it, move. Did that all the way up, till college basically.
Dude, that's crazy. Is that where you got your handiness from? Is that like the basic like?
Yeah, because my dad's a psycho. So my dad is awesome. It's in like the coolest way. Like my dad, before YouTube University was a thing, there was like Ace Hardware University. So you'd go to Ace Hardware, you'd find Ron Swanson, you'd be like, hey, I need to know how to like do whatever, and he'd be like, I know more than you're like, I know, that's why I'm here. And then he would give you all the stuff, sell you a million things. You'd go home, screw it up, go back with a photo, an actual photo, and he'd be like, oh yeah, I know what we're talking about. And then he would tell you what to do, and then that's why it was 5 trips. You just needed tips. You couldn't rewind the video.
No.
And so yeah, he just like literally Home Depot'd everything from like tile, grouting, roofing, plumbing, electrical, like you name it. Back when you had to like know how to do soldering with copper and stuff. So and my dad would be like, we grew up being like, oh, what are we doing today? We're gonna haul like 50 yards of dirt and level out our backyard. So all right, cool. That's what we'll figure it out.
Hey, that I try and do that with my son because I want to create a solid work ethic, but I end up just being like this slave driver, and I feel terrible about it, dude.
It's the worst.
Yeah. But hey, you got a set of life skills out of that nobody really has. Like
there are people that do. It's kind of rare though. You're right. And there is this mentality of like, well, I'll just call somebody, and I do like. I have that sometimes with some things, but not with much. And I like messing with stuff. Like it's just fun. And I wired my whole basement for lighting down here.
Yeah.
This is a new build house, and for no reason, I was like, well, I'll do. I mean, it would have cost me like $500. It probably would have been cheaper to have somebody else do it, honestly.
No,
but like I just like maybe not these days, but I don't even know because I've done it all. Like I finished my whole basement with YouTube University. I just was like, I'll figure it out.
You tied all that in with a switch and a breaker and all that kind of stuff. Like you tied it. Yeah. No, I remember we were talking, and I was like, let me know if you need any pointers and stuff. But you nailed it.
Probably could have used it when I did this freaking monster switch over here. But yeah, I mean, it was just like, I'm fine with it not being perfect or the best or whatever. But like the next time something happens, like I know how to do it. And like I'm the guy that people call when they're like, hey, I have a flat, because they're like, well, I know Paul has like freaking 16 wrenches and probably a spare tire in the back of his truck. I'm like, yeah, I do.
It's awesome, man. I mean, that's awesome. Like, so growing up like that, were you handy at school and stuff? Did you like try and help? Did you do the wood shop and all that kind of stuff? Or were you like, I have to do this at home, so the last thing I want to do is work for anything?
In school, it was all sports, man. Like I just like it was sports like 24/7. Like so I didn't even get into like hunting or fishing or anything until like way later in life. Like until my wife's dad actually got me into it. I never even really thought about it. None of my family did it. It wasn't part of life. Sports are a huge part of life. So it was always sports. So sports all the way through high school. And like, video games and stuff, just like everybody else, like in the 90s, 2000s. And, but then, yeah, that's all I ever wanted to do. Like I played rugby in college. I wrestled in college. And then at Michigan State, I wrestled at Central, and then played rugby at Michigan State. And then that's actually how I met Jeff. Fishing didn't show up until 25, 24, something like that.
Yeah, but you're just out there getting it, like all the sports all the time. And rugby was your one sport, or did it?
Rugby was weird. Yeah, it was weird. So like I actually just like fishing, like sports to me are like, I'm just in it for the fun, and it's a good way to get into a altercation with somebody and like kind of get that out of your system without doing it, because like I would have been way less fun without like the outlet of like, you can get into this fight and this is fine, and you can then leave it there and that's okay. Then when you go home, I won't be doing any of that. At all. I'll go like work with my dad and my brothers and stuff, and I can like live that life. So it was like I hung out with my brothers a lot. I had like a couple of friends that I was really close with, but like two brothers that were like really tight because we moved so much. We never had time to like make the same friends. Like we switched schools every couple of years. Like 3 years is the longest I ever lived in a place, and that didn't happen until I was in high school. And so like it was like me and my two brothers, we were super tight, and we had like no money. We were super poor, like growing up.
Yeah. And
so like until I got into high school, we had no money. And so like I worked a lot too. So I worked at like marinas. I did like every job that you can do. I worked at like climbing gyms. I worked at like flower shops, like climbing, like literally anywhere that you can work. I was like, I'll work there. I cleaned pools religiously because it was like the most amount of cash that I could get.
Oh yeah.
Like highest amount of cash, least amount of work, but like brutal work, but like tons of cash. So I was like, whatever job I could do, I would do it. And yeah, I mean, it was that in sports, and sports are great. Like, cause sports, like kind of like carry you, at least for me, that was actually what carried me into like being an adult. Like without rugby was just like a weird confluence of like, I was okay at it. Not a lot of people played it. So like super, super, super high-end athletes like weren't playing rugby. They were trying to play football or other sports. And so there was college money involved where you were like, okay, like it's here. There's money for this program. With my amount of athleticism and just stubbornness and like what I was good at with sports, like I was good to play that. And there was just like a place for me. And then after college, it was great because I could go play. I moved to Minnesota. I was working at Target corporate, and I didn't know a single person. I was 20, 4, 23, whatever. I get out there. I literally just Googled rugby team near me or best rugby team near me. And then this super, super elite rugby pro club was there, which I had no idea. And I just emailed them. I was like, when's practice? And they were like, same as everywhere else in the world, Tuesday, Thursday, right when you get out of work till dark. And I was like, Brad, I'll see you there. And then I literally had like 100 best friends like that day. And so it was just like I don't know. It's a good outlet. It's hard to do. I like doing difficult things. So it was like rugby was weird because it's actually like mentally the hardest game for me to play, but it's also like a ton of fun and the people are fun and the culture is fun. So it was like that weird confluence of like, I was scared to play every time I went to play, but you'd make it through and you would get good. And then eventually it was like this, just that sort of like weird combo that was like, all right, I'm okay with this. And it's challenging.
Yeah, dude. And I'm going to say this, it doesn't have to necessarily go anywhere, but like, do you feel that by you holding on to sports, or not holding on to sports, but delving into sports, that was the one consistent no matter where you moved, because sports never change no matter where you go. It is
Oh, yeah.
you immediately
you can play
have
football
a group of
anywhere.
dudes.
You can play soccer anywhere. And the culture of that is like pretty similar. So it was like, if you switch schools, like I could go play baseball. It was fine. Like I'm good. Like I can make friends and like have people that I can hang out with. I have something to do, versus like, go home, play video games, fight with your brothers. Like you had two options. Like that was it. Like even like, and it was work was the other one. So like when I was like 14, I started working like essentially full time, like under the table. So it was like, because Michigan work laws, you had to have like a permit to work from like 14 to 16 or something like that. And so it was like right when I turned 14, I was like, all right, I'm working. And so I went out and like, started waiting tables. So yeah, if you weren't working, playing sports, that was like my whole life.
Are you the oldest brother?
Oh yeah.
Okay. It sounds like it. That's what I was saying. Like, okay.
Yeah. My middle brother. So it's crazy. So my middle brother is a professional musician. So he's in a metal band called We Came as Romans, and they are massive.
Yeah, they're huge.
Yeah, they're massive.
Yes, I have them on my phone.
Yeah, they have a new album out. It's incredible. So you should go check it out. But yeah, so he's the bassist. And he like developed. He didn't work like at all when we were growing up, really. But when he hit that like high school point and he found what he cared about, locked in, and has been locked in ever since. So he figured out that like, I'm good at art and I do my art my way. So he actually, I think he's better at the business side of things and the art side of things than he is at the musician side of things. Like the business and his drive to like, he just wanted that was like, so what he did was he made a band. They wrote a couple songs. They kind of found solid members. This is all in high school. He's a sophomore. What he does is this is like how he made it. He was like, I'm going to call everyone from Michigan to Georgia and just set up a tour in the summertime when I'm not in school. And so I will just call every bar, and anyone that will have me, I will play. And so they all rented a van and they did a tour. They come back from that tour and they have like their EPs that they've, paid $500 to record crappy. And somebody heard them, and Equal Vision Records signs them to like a Make It deal. So they get a Make It deal with Equal Vision, and they made it. They wrote an album that kicked a whole bunch of freaking butt. And yeah, the rest was just all of them. So like Andy does like, he does all their merch. He's on retainer for bands like Breaking Benjamin and stuff to do art, not
no music, just
nothing,
the
just the art. And he probably could make way more money doing that than doing the band thing. Like the band thing has become like, yes, it's passion. He loves to do it. It's very obvious. But this other side of thing is like, he would be fine if he didn't have any of that. He could be very successful doing that too. And like, again, once he figured out like, I want to do this, it was like, there was nothing else.
That's so
he's
awesome.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Nuts.
And I can imagine being a big brother watching that. You're like, yes, dude.
Oh yeah.
Go. You found it.
I remember driving home. My mom was driving me to college. It was my senior year. No, it was my junior year. No, it was my sophomore year. And my brother we're all a year and a half apart. And he was like getting ready he had gone through his first year of school and was like, I'm dropping out. I'm not doing this. I'm going to go do the band thing. And my mom is like, Does not
Momming.
compute. Can't
Yeah,
handle that.
momming.
She was,
Yeah.
being a like a responsible mom.
Yeah.
And she's losing it in the car. And I'm like, Mom, you're gonna make him go to school. You're talking about the kid who like gets in trouble for like mooning teachers consistently. Like, you think that kid's gonna make it? Like, think about draw me the environment in your head where you think he's gonna be successful. Is it a classroom? Is it a desk? Absolutely not. There's no way. And it was obvious to me, but
Yeah, but also, yeah. I mean, she's still got to be the mom, like she has that mom, like,
wouldn't you? I would.
Okay, so you understand this. You're a parent. There ain't no playbook, dude.
No.
There ain't no playbook. So you go off what you find successful, and you want your kids to do the same. You know, it's like, so it's hard to be like, okay.
But I think like maybe it's because I watched my brother do that. Like, I will have if my son is like, I'm gonna be a professional, basket weaver. I'll be like, honestly, dude, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, whatever, man. Like, what do you like? What would you? I guess I think like, what would you want your parents to say?
Right.
You decide that you're maybe not smart enough to make that call. I mean, I think we've seen like in the 2010 pluses, you pretty much get away with murder. I mean, yeah, life's really hard, but at the same time, you can make a living doing almost anything. Like, it's kind of nuts. Dude, going to college these days, it's a cash grab. It's not even worth it.
Yeah, my wife, she did her master's. She got all the way through her master's. She was a teacher. She did a year of teaching, 2 years of teaching, and then wants to be a stay-at-home mom, which is fine. But in her maximum income for a year was my apprenticeship as a carpenter. And I never even graduated high school, to be honest. Like, I just didn't. I was a dummy. So, and she did a bunch of college, and it's just, I think the system is set up differently for kids these days.
I'm saving for college.
I could sit
now.
here. Yeah. Same.
You know what I mean? Because like you can easily get financially bankrupted. And to be fair, like, I wouldn't be able to make what I make now. Well, I don't know if that's true. It would be a lot harder for me to make what I make now with the degree of safety that I have, like in my career. Without a college degree, it would have been really hard to get here this fast. That being said, that was a different time. If you're an 80s baby, 90s baby, go to college 100%. If you're, I told my wife when we were getting ready to have kids, I'm like, I'll save for college. I hope they go to be a plumber. Go be an electrician. That's what I should have been. If I could like do it over and I knew myself well enough, electrician all day. I love doing that, dude, all day.
It's so fun.
It's so satisfying. You leave a project and you're like, oh, what the frick?
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
Now, I'm saving for college, and I got a bunch of like, there's a drawer over here, and there's like in plastic and sealed is like Michael Jordan cards and Sean Kemp rookie cards, and like
I have 2 of those.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah.
Sean Kemp is like one of my favorite players,
bro.
His dunk,
best
dunk of all time. Dude. And there are some better dunkers for sure, but that dunk is
the power that man had on the court was unmatched. Like,
him and Russell Westbrook, pound for pound.
Westbrook was dope, dude. He still is.
He still is.
He's older. But yeah,
he has no business. He had no business being that tall, that short, and that skinny, and abs. And the his dunk was a sonic boom. It was insane,
dude. Do you remember when him and Kevin Durant were on the Thunder together, and it was like
with Harden?
Yes, it was just like,
and they were all like, "Well, who's better? Who's better? Kevin Durant, recognized one of the best basketball players ever play, or is it Russell Westbrook?" And James Harden's just like chewing gum over here, can't freaking win a championship. Like, what the frick?
Just growing beards, saying it out like
insane.
Yeah, no, dude. So I love that we. It's rare that I get a basketball fan, like, or a person who appreciates basketball. I grew up in a basketball town. So when people ask me, "Oh, what's your football team? What's your baseball team?" I'm like, those came along when I got older. I'm like, but let's talk college about it. Like, my family has a college brackets, and I won this last year in March Madness. My mom listens to this, so yeah. But no, like we are it's a basketball family, and so I grew up a huge basketball fan. So I'm like, oh, let's talk about this, let's talk about that. And
that's the most fun sport to play. if it was just how much entertainment and just enjoyment can you get out of playing something, I don't think that you can beat basketball. Like,
No.
that's what I used to do for my off-season conditioning for rugby. I would play basketball so long, I would close down the local YMCA, and that would be at 10 p.m. And I would walk to my apartment where my wife and I were together. Well, the girlfriend at the time, my wife now, and I would sit on the floor for almost an hour just drinking Gatorade and water, trying to recover because I had lifted for an hour and a half, like rugby lifting, and I would play for like 4 hours basketball, and then I would just pass out, and I'd go to work the next day.
It's the best. It is. I used to love playing pickup games as a kid. I don't do it no more, but I mean, I
No,
did for a very
it's
long
time for that. But dude, it is so fun. It's so much. It's so fun. The pace is insane, and like you can always find a group of people like to play with that are at your skill level, and like you can't do that with a lot of other sports. It's too fun.
You know who's a huge basketball fan?
Who?
John Dalton.
Really?
Yeah, you
I
need
didn't
to
know that.
hit him. He plays
I'm
pickup
going to.
games.
I'm going to be
Bro,
really.
we
he's
talked about it
tall.
on here. He is. Yeah.
All these
Oh,
jerks
he's
are so
massive.
tall.
I've met him.
He's huge.
His hand like wrapped around my
He's
whole.
so
I was like,
tall, dude.
hi.
It's you know what's bullcrap. I'm not even that short, but everyone thinks I'm ultra short because Jeff's like 6'3". Ethan Duvetter's like 6'7". Dalton's like 6'5". Like, do we have any normal people? Just can I get someone that's 6'1"? Just make me look normal. What the frick is going on?
Hey, dude, I'm like 5'11 and 3/4. Like I count every day.
I'm like freaking 5'10", 5'11". This is bullcrap. I'm not that short. Jesus.
Yeah, no, so, but in my photos with like Rudd and John and like I took a photo with Matt and Brad, and this is what started the joke is I crouch super low and then have the
Be
photo
double.
cropped, so I look like super tiny. I look like everybody's child. It's great. I'm like, if I'm gonna be shorter, let's make it good. You know,
I appreciate that very much.
Thank you. But anyway, back to you. I'm so sorry.
Not at all.
Yeah. So you got into college. You're playing rugby. Let's talk about the colleges real quick. What was your college experience like?
Yeah.
Like,
So
what were you studying? What'd you go for?
So I went to Central, and I was like very iffy on college, but like I was gonna pay for it, and I'm like, dude, like what are we doing? But I'd already saved all this money because it was kind of like what you were supposed to do, so I just like did it. And I was like, man, I was actually gonna be a firefighter, and I was like, dude, that sounds sick. That sounds like good work. I'm in. And then I don't know, like last second, it was just like, well, let's just see what happens. I can always quit. Like firefighting's not going anywhere. So I went to Central. And I had no money, so I was like, well, I didn't have enough to pay for it. So I was like, well, I'll take the scholarship. We'll play sports. So I did some wrestling and hated everything about it. The culture sucked. The coaches sucked. I sucked. But like, yeah, it was basically my job. And so I just worked out every day, which I love the workouts. I love the practices, and people were great. But it was not for me. And I didn't like Central either. It wasn't good for me. It was like too easy to go party and like do too much stuff. And I was like, dude, this is just like the balance wasn't right. I just wasn't happy. And so I was like, well, I'm gonna switch schools. I'll go to Michigan State. That sounds cool. I know a bunch of people there. My dad went there. Like it just seemed better. I don't know why, honestly. And I just decided one day I was going to do it. So I figured out how many credits I would need, had people do some emails, and I was like, all right, I just need to take these 4 classes, don't fail. Oh yeah, that was the other thing. My grades sucked. I had like a 2.9. Like it just wasn't good. Everything was bad. Yeah. So I switched schools, and I swear to God, the day I got there, best day ever. Best decision of my life. Like literally it's the best decision of my entire life. Like when I got to Michigan State, like, and I don't know if it was just like the combination of like me getting older and like being a little smarter or whatever, and like kind of growing into my own. But like literally my first day there, I'm hanging out with this girl that I was like friends with, and I was just needed somebody to hang out with. So I was like, well, we can hang out. Yeah, great. So I'm hanging out with her. I end up being like, we're walking through campus, like the main drag, and they have all the clubs out. This is like pre-school starting, so all the clubs are trying to get all the new kids, like all the freshmen or whatever. So I'm a transfer, so I'm like kind of ignoring everybody. And there's a dude with a bullhorn, like a megaphone, and he's screaming, and I'm like, my people. So I go over there. I literally didn't even know what it was. He's just yelling. He's like, you get it. He's basically anyone athletic. They were like, that looked athletic. They're like, come over here. I'm like, bet. So I walk over. It's the rugby team. And he's like, do you want to play? And I was like, yeah, that sounds cool. I didn't know anything about it. And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. And so they're like, be here at this time. So I go over to this girl's apartment. We're painting her room. I don't know. We're drinking beers. I'm like, all right, I'll go. I got to go to this thing. So she drops me off over there. It was a massive party, and they kind of teach you how to play rugby, but not really. They were just trying to like kind of be friends with you and be cool so that you would come back.
Get to know you.
I ended up getting just like very drunk and then like playing rugby, sort of. And I never left, and I became president of the club the next year. Yeah, and it was like it was the best. I mean, I met my wife at Michigan State. Rugby was a thing, and like it was in my wedding. It was like me, my brothers, and then like I had unlimited rugby people. I was like, however many people you want to bring, I have a cutoff. You just let me know, and I'll cut the next person off. Like I could have 50 people here tomorrow for this wedding, like whatever. Yeah. And so, yeah, it was just, I mean, that was it, man. I learned like financial responsibility because I was president of the club. I had to like do fundraising for the club. I funded massive trips like Bahamas and all this other kinds of stuff for the whole team. Big tournaments. We played the whole Big Ten all the time. I actually was like this close to getting us in the first college rugby sevens World Cup, which we had no business being in. And like, it was just like, it was really cool. And like, it could not replace anything, from that. Yeah. And then it got me my first jobs, which paid for my house and everything else. So it's kind of hard. Like I say, don't go to college, but like at the time it was the right choice. And it was the right choice for me eventually. I mean, I met Jeff through there, literally. Like my whole life was like, it was nuts.
Yes. That's one thing that I will never knock on the college experience is because you're finally, when you're in high school and junior high, at least what my experience is and what I've seen the experience of others, people make friends, and yeah, you have friends for life in there. But when you get to college, you're a little bit more mentally prepared for adult relationships.
Oh yeah.
Not saying like adult, like,
no,
wife stuff, but like healthy relationships.
Kind of so.
Well, I mean, that happens.
Well, you're forced to have roommates.
Yes.
You're going to have roommates the whole time, pretty much. Yeah. You have to deal with teachers. You have to deal with schedules. You have to deal with personal finances. Like all the stuff that they're like, well, why didn't they teach you that? I'm like, well, you could have learned it in college if you wanted to. Like, and somebody could teach you those things. They actually do have those classes. You just didn't pick them, right? So it's like, it is a very, like when you're coming out of high school, there are a lot of tools that you just are not in the toolbox yet.
Yeah.
At least for a lot of people. And I definitely was not. And I didn't even have what I needed when I graduated college, frankly. I figured a lot out after the fact. But like you do get this like safety net of like, you get a lot of grace during school. The cops don't even care. They're just trying to keep you safe. Like it's just it's a scenario where they're like, everyone here is 18 to 25-ish, 26-ish. It's going to be fine. We're going to be okay. Everything's not terrible. Like, housing off campus, not terribly expensive, not terribly risky. If you want to just sit inside and learn stuff, you can do that and get in, get out. If you want to go crazy and party and make friends, you can do that. If you want to do sports, you can do that. If you want to do technical stuff, you can do that. If you want to change your major 6 times, if you can afford it, you can do that. So like, it's not perfect, but like it worked for me because it got me past that period of time where I may have really screwed up, burned some bridges, created problems for myself in the real world. Just not having guidance and not having that safe space of like, hey, you can screw everything up and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
As long as you were willing to work and had cash, like you could get by.
Yeah. And that's what I was trying to get at is like you get these adult relationships and you start learning how to, like, the crash course on life. You get that in college, I grew up on the street. You get a crash course there too, but then you have to re-crash course yourself later if you don't want to be that way, and so like,
it's true.
College is a really good place for young adults to basically get that break into life, so
a little bit. You gotta grow up. I mean, you learn about credit card, you learn about credit card debt, you learn about paying your bills, you learn about how insurance and like having cable, just like all this stuff, like you learn a lot pretty freaking fast. But the mistakes are small. Like if you are house poor, like you get too nice of a place, you're like, well, I can't afford this. You can be out in 3 months. Yep. And then you just find it. Like it's not like buying a house, the wrong house, where you can be stuck with this decision for 40 years. Like it's just, it can be good. It was good for me. It was really good for me. And like I said, I met my wife. I met all my best friends. Like I fell into rugby. Butt backwards. I fell into my career butt backwards. I have no idea how I did it. So,
it just happened.
You just get lucky.
Yeah. Well, also like it's like it's the perfect petri dish for setting all those things up. You know what I'm saying? So like you can't go straight out of high school and expect to get plugged right into life. You know, it's just,
No.
I mean, you can try, but it's very difficult. You know,
If you don't have a
have
good support system, you got to have parents, friends. And if you don't have those things coming out of high school, man, that would be so hard. That'd be so hard. And life just slaps you. You know that. Like you have to start working every single day. Like I worked all the time, but like I wanted to do that. You know, I'm sure if I pressured my parents, they probably would have paid for a bunch of stuff. You know what I mean? And I could have just farted around and rode my bike and had, you know, like done nothing, you know, like that would have been fine. And that, can you do that in life? No, dude, you can't get away with that.
No,
Not
dude,
really.
no. You can for a point, and then eventually,
then you're done.
The well dries up, you know. And then what are you gonna do? You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So okay. So and you say you met your wife. How'd that go down? Like, were you just like, hey, this cute chick in my class?
Yeah. Well, close. She went to Michigan State. Her best friend went to Michigan. Michigan has like a different schedule, so her best friend was on like spring break before her and came to visit her. Now, her best friend was best friends with my roommate, a dude. They were really good friends. They all went to high school together. So my wife's best friend comes to visit her at Michigan State because she's on spring break. And then they're like, well, what should we do? And so she's like, well, I want to go see my friend John, who's my roommate. And so they come over and then I'm me. So I'm like, oh, girls are here. We're going to party. So I like bought a bunch of beers. We partied. And then I got her number. And then I invited her to, we had like theme parties for the rugby house because I was president of the club. So I lived in the rugby house. So every Thursday night we had huge parties. And then every Saturday after games, we had huge parties. And so it was like, I invited her to the Thursday party. It was, the theme was Catalina wine mixer. So I had like a blue blazer. It was actually kind of nuts because everyone was very like dressed up in like boat attire. So I had like this dress shirt. I had like a blazer. I had like slacks on and stuff. But I had been playing rugby in the snow. We got snow rugby. So I had played rugby that like earlier in the day because practices are Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I don't know what happened that day, but my face was wrecked. I have this picture of me with like this old cell phone and like, you know, my wife is freaking a child like I am, you know, we're kids and my face is like cut up and bleeding like for like no reason. And that was like the second time we hung out. But yeah, then we just we started dating and then we kind of had to make that decision because I graduated first and I moved to Minnesota to take a job with Target. And we had to make the call like, are we going to keep dating or are we not? Because we had dated for like 2 years at that point, like a year and a half or so. And so it wasn't really that long. And I kind of remember being like, no, yeah, like we're gonna date, but we'll have to figure it out. I don't know what's gonna happen when you graduate. And like now I'm far away. And she ended up getting a job out in Minnesota, lived with me before we were married, and then we lived there for about a year. She hated that job, got a job back in Michigan, and that's when I was like, dude, I gotta move back to Michigan. Like it's either move back to Michigan and we continue to date, or we're gonna break up because I gotta figure something out. And this was hard. This was like 2010, which there's no jobs.
No.
2008, 2010, there are not jobs.
I remember.
There are none, dude. They did not exist. You had to work your freaking butt off to get a job. So I was lucky to have what I had. And then I was even luckier. I found a job at Kellogg's on the west side of Michigan. Great, 100-year-old company, really reputable. Learned a lot there. And great people, super smart people. But it brought me back to Michigan, which was really nice. And then at that point, we were like, we were pretty much we were done at that point. We've been dating so long, and but it wasn't until 2012 that we had lived together and been together during dating longer than we'd been apart. Because at that point we had been apart longer than we'd been together, which is kind of nuts. So yeah, it was. I don't know. It took a while.
Yeah. No. Hey, dude. First off, good call on waiting for the Mayan calendar to run out. Yeah, it's just.
I remember when that happened.
Yeah,
there was a crazy, insane storm in Minnesota when that happened, and I was riding on the light rail back from practice back to where I lived, and I remember being like, "Oh my god, is it really going to happen? Is it? Is the world going to end today?" Because it looked like it. The sky was like black for no reason. It was crazy. That was crazy, actually.
I remember seeing that on the news, like watching all these storms happen everywhere else. I'm looking outside. It's May.
Bluebird.
Okay, whatever.
Classic California. Freaking beautiful.
Well, depends on where you live in California. But yes, where I grew
Fair
up
enough.
is classic California.
Yeah.
Now the sky is never blue like they show in the movies, but
No.
it's the temperatures.
You don't need air conditioning. You can't talk to me. Like
No, that was Southern California. Yeah.
exactly.
You don't need. You can have it, but you don't.
But
need
why?
it. Yeah, you can
You
open
have
a
a window. You're good.
Yeah,
That's right.
it's. I mean, you get to taste all the air, but it's still cool.
Sign me up. Oh, boo, the ocean. Wah.
Oh, not that. You get
Oh,
to taste all
the
the
rest of
cars
it.
and the
Yeah, that's
homeless and the you get to taste all that. That's what you get
Yeah.
to taste, but
That
it's
is
still
city
cold.
life, though. That's
Yeah.
city life. Yeah.
So so that's awesome. So you guys took your time. You did it right. 2012 wedding time. You had your army
15,
on.
we got married. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So and you had your army on the right, on your
Yep.
side,
And then I think we had like 7 each, something like that.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was great. And like Jeff set himself on fire at my wedding. Yeah. So Jeff's at my wedding. I was actually in Jeff's wedding.
Okay.
He got married way before me. He and Rachel got married when they were in college. But yeah, so Jeff was at my wedding. He was helping seat people, and he's standing up against a table like this, wearing a polo because he can't handle button-up shirts. He can't do it. So he's got a polo.
Yeah.
He's leaning against the table. There's a candle behind him. Literally caught himself on fire.
Yes.
Classic.
Yeah.
just like everybody else, you know.
Yeah, it happens at every wedding.
Every wedding.
It's a guy walking around missing the back of his shirt, you know.
Black from like here to here. Actually, the funny part is, dude, he was wearing, I take it back, he was wearing a dress shirt, which I had never seen him do. He was wearing a white dress shirt, sets himself on fire, changes into a white polo. I'm like, you did that on purpose.
Yes.
You brought that backup shirt. You had to find a way to get out of it, and you chose candle.
Could have spilled wine, you know, but no, you gotta go the extra mile.
Oh, fire.
That's awesome.
Someone might have a Tide pen. You don't know.
Dude, those things were clutch back in the day.
They're
My mom used to
immaculate.
Oh yeah. Okay, so backing up a little bit, you said that
Yeah.
your wife's dad got you into fishing.
Oh yeah. Yep.
How did that go down?
So their family is actually the one that has a place on Lake St. Clair, on the Canadian side, and so she invited me up, you know, when we were dating, and after going a couple times, they fish there from the breakwall. It's like breakwall fishing, and so, you know, I didn't have fishing pole or anything. I would just go and kind of party and hang out in the sun and swim and, you know, do what everybody else does at the lake, right? But you know, he bought me a fishing rod, and then she bought me a tackle box to go for when we would go up there. And so I started catching fish there, and like I didn't know what I was doing, so it was just worm and bobber fishing, you know, that was it. But like he showed me how to tie knots, and he kind of would like, you know, he'd get really hyped whenever he would catch a fish, and like, you know, I'd be like on the other side of the cottage. He'd be at the lake, and I'd just hear, bow, bow, and I'd run back there, and he's got a freaking carp that he's fighting or whatever and wants me to net, like, you know, and he just participated with me. And then, you know, they used to go deer hunting all the time. So Haley ran a marathon. She ran Detroit the first time. And so I was back home, and by this time I had kind of gotten bitten by the fishing bug, and I was like buying my own stuff and starting to mess around with stuff. I had a bait caster at this time, and he was like, I'm literally asleep because we were up at 4 a.m. for this race, and she was done. She's passed out on the couch. I'm sleeping on another couch. He wakes me up and he goes, Paul, I need you to drive me to Dick's Sporting Goods. And I'm like, okay, thanks for waking me up for that. You can't drive yourself to whatever. Yeah. All right. So we get into, I'm literally asleep. Like I drive him to Dick's Sporting Goods. He takes me and he goes, he walks right back to the gun counter back when they sold guns. And he was like, you like green or black? And I was like, I don't know. The green looks cool. I assume he's buying a gun. I'm like, I don't know why I need to be here for this, but sure, whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, green. And then he's like, we walk out of the store and he goes, it's yours. And so, yeah, he bought me my first gun, bought me a Remington 870, which was a great choice.
Yeah.
He had the Mossberg, which rattles like a freaking mousetrap. I hate that thing. So yeah. And then he kind of got me, we'd go shoot trap. And then he got me shooting, you know, we have to use a shotgun with a changeable barrel for the bottom half of Michigan. You can't use a rifle. And so that's why he bought me that. And so he would, we'd go deer hunting, and he kind of got me into hunting. And then later on in life, I got into turkey hunting, which is like my favorite thing ever, and like duck hunting and squirrel hunting and like everything. And yeah, he was like the impetus for all of it. And later on, years after that, I would go by myself all the time. And then all of a sudden it was like, when I moved back to Michigan, because when I lived in the city, can't do any of that crap. And like I didn't have a car, so I couldn't just like drive somewhere and go do stuff. So I kind of put a pause on it. The day I moved back to Michigan, I grabbed all my fishing stuff, and I was literally, because my wife was like, she lived like 2 hours from me, hour and a half from me, and my week when I moved back to Michigan, my week consisted of, this is the greatest time. It was unbelievable. This is amazing. I would go to work, 5 days a week, like 8 to, I don't know, 4 or 5, whatever. But every single day, Tuesday, Thursday, I had practice for rugby, and Saturdays were game days. But that only lasted till like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Anytime I wasn't doing rugby or working out, I was fishing, and basically 4 to 5 nights a week I would go fishing, and I would fish until like way after dark. I'd come back home just mosquito bitten at like 11 o'clock every night. And I did that for like, I don't know, a year. That's when I was like, really got into fishing. That's when I was like driving my truck around to just look for public access points to random rivers, and then just wet weight them. I didn't have a kayak or anything. I was just like beating the bank up for every single park. I could still to this day tell you if it's on the western side of Michigan, I know every single freaking cup of water that holds a fish.
Yes.
All the spots, because that's all I did for like 2 years.
Dude, let's take a moment of silence for those memories, because
I know
I had that right when 2020 hit. When I got into fishing, I was like, I'd work all day and I'd come home and we didn't, I'd just go fishing until
what else are you gonna do?
Sunset.
I know, R.I.P.
Yeah, my wife was also a runner, so she would go running and I would go fishing, and we would have a great time. And the great part about it was she would pick great countrysides, and she would be like my eyes. She'd be like, "Hey, I saw this pond or this." I'm like, "Dude, did you drop a pin?" She's like, "I already texted it to you." I'm
saw
like,
80 deer over there. All right, bet.
Yep.
Okay, which park was that? Yeah, dude.
Yep.
Oh man, 1000%.
Speaking of which, if you like turkey hunting, please come out here. I got so many turkey out here; they need to get dropped, dude. I got a gang of 30 that live like a block and a half from me, and they just.
It's my favorite animal.
Yeah,
honestly.
By all means, you can
it's the
have
closest thing to a dinosaur that we will ever see in our lifetimes.
I always thought they were like the white trash peacock.
No, dude, they're a dinosaur. They're so old. Yeah, and like people talk about raptors. That's what a raptor is. Yeah, like so raptors are chickens, right?
Yeah.
A turkey is like the oldest version of that. There's like the Komodo dragon, and alligators are technically closer, but really, for like there's not many animals that are like that unchanged. There's like sharks, there's some lingering, like there's a lot of marine life that hasn't changed a lot. But dude, land animals, yeah, I mean that's about as close as it gets to dinosaur.
It's true, because I mean the bird skeleton and like most dinosaurs, the skeletal features match up. Like I remember reading about like the T-Rex skeleton and the chicken skeleton, and like how almost identical they are. And
identical.
I'm like, dude,
well, like the beak's not cool. Beak's not that far off. The skin is so hard. If you've ever grabbed which many people haven't, but if you grab like the talons of a turkey, like the legs of a turkey with the skin on, they're rocks. It's freaking rocks, dude.
Yep.
Like I got a spur right up there, but like their spurs are like 2.5 inches long.
Oh, I know. I got damage on my truck from them because I have a chrome bumper, and one saw his reflection. Decided to tee off on my truck. I was all
red, and probably because you slammed the door one time and it thought it was like, they don't like. Dude, I love turkey. I love anything about turkeys. I could do a whole podcast on turkeys. No problem.
I chased the whole crew with a broom, and they circled me, and I was like, "Ooh, maybe not."
They'll
no joke.
You up.
When they're ready, when they're like doing their like fluff season,
when they're strutting and they're pissed. You ever hear them? You probably get to hear this if you got some nearby. Have you ever heard them drum? When you hear this, like,
yep,
they smack the sides of themselves, dude. That's like the stuff that people don't know about turkeys.
I thought they were like stomping on the ground or something.
They do that too. Yeah, they scratch, they drum, they bash themselves, they make all kinds of noises. Like, I love turkeys. Dude, and when when you're hunting turkeys, it's crazy because like you'll get out there early, like before dark, like before light, and the way you typically do it is you scout, and find out where they're roosting, like where they sleep at night, and then you go set up while they're sleeping, and then you wait for one to come down. You hope they come down within range. because their hearing is so they can hear the way that like superheroes can like transmute themselves, like the Daredevil or not Daredevil. Who's the guy that like goes poof, poof, into like the different
Nightcrawler. Yep.
Just like Nightcrawler. That's how they hear. They don't need to see the thing. They can hear something like 2 miles away and they can walk right to it where that spot was when you made the sound.
Oh,
like their hearing is insane. Their sight's not great. It's good close up, but like their hearing is so unfreaking believable. And their sight actually is really good too. They're freaking crazy, man. They're really hard to hunt. But yeah, when you do that, when they come down and then you hear one gobble in the dark, when they're close too, especially my adrenaline for sure, just straight through the roof.
Oh, they scare the crap out of me all the time. They scare the crap out of me all the time. So I'll take you to their roost. We can walk. It's literally 150 yards from my front door, and you can do whatever you want. I don't care. Get rid of them. Like just get them out of here.
I love them, man.
Yeah, there's
so
like a
cool.
whole bunch of older oak trees, and they go up there at night, dude. And they just
pines. Yeah, or the old oaks, and that's where, dude, they're the freaking best. They're so cool.
I'll be going. It's right in this creek that I walk and fish in all the time, and I'll be out there fishing like when the sun's going down, the sun's coming up, and I'm like, what the hell? Like,
yeah, dude. Or a bowling ball flies across the river, and you're like,
dude, yes. When they start coming down, I feel like I was like, there's a mountain lion around here because they're just coming down out of this tree, and I was like, dude, it's nuts.
Have you ever seen a white one?
I mean, in somebody's yard. I've seen one in somebody's yard. Yeah,
my first turkey I shot was almost an albino.
Oh,
see, it was so close.
It wasn't like a natural one. It was like one of those ones where people buy.
Those are like the turkey that you buy. Yeah, they're all white. Yeah. No, there's albino turkeys in the wild, and they're crazy. And it's nuts because like I can't believe they exist. I'm going off a tangent, but if you think about it, in nature, right, you got to blend in, and turkeys are unbelievably good at like. There's this amazing study where hunters knew exactly where the turkeys were. They were told where the turkeys were. And then they released the turkeys and they had like a 5 minutes where the hunter could already be walking to where they were, and they were in a confined area. So they couldn't leave this area. Only one out of like 20 hunters ever even spotted a turkey. Yeah. And they didn't move. The turkeys were just like invisible. They're crazy. So if you think about it, that's their main skill set is hiding. That's what they do best. Yep. And now you're white. You basically glow in the dark. Like, what the frick? And they're still alive and they're still like breeding. That's crazy to me.
He's like, I'm a snow turkey.
I just can't believe they're around. They would get eaten by something at some point or shot by a hunter because they stand out like a sore thumb.
Yeah. How did you get to be this big?
And they still exist. I don't even know how it's possible. Yeah. Anyways, I'm done. Yeah. Sorry.
No. I find it interesting, so it's all good. All right. So married. Yep. You and Jeff have been friends for a while because of rugby in college. And you've been getting into fishing. Did you drag him into fishing, or was he? Yeah.
Well, sort of. So I had bought a boat. I lived in an apartment, and I bought a 14-foot John boat, V-hull. No, a V-hull, DP, and I hated it. I hated everything about it. I still get angry at that boat. And I thought it was like I was like $2,800, and I put another $1,500 into it, just fixing it up. And I finally get it running, and like my wife hated it. I hated it. The motor kept dying, old Johnson, and it was like pain in the butt to manage. And it wasn't a safe neighborhood. And so I had to like take the motor off every time, take the battery out every time, like everything had to come off every time. All my rods had to come out. I was like, I had to chain it up, and I had the trailer, and I sucked it backing it up. I was like, dude, this blows. Like everything about this is just getting in my way. Like I'd rather just walk. So I sold it. And then I bought a kayak because I was like, well, I could just keep this on my patio, like big deal, and I'll just drag it out when I want to. This is great. So yeah, I bought an Old Town Predator MX, brand new. Freaking that boat slept on eternally.
I checked the shop inventory, by the way, because I told you I'd take a look around because they have a bunch of old towns, and they do have a couple Predators, but it's not the one you're looking for. It's like the one with the pedal drive and all that stuff.
The MX is slept on eternally, dude. It's such a great kayak. It's one of the best hulls ever. Anyways, so I get that, and I'm posting on Facebook, and I'm chatting with Jeff because he had just moved back from Virginia. So he moved away and then came back. And he wasn't too far from me. He was like a little bit more north of me, like a couple hours north of me. And he had been given I think his grandfather passed away or gave him, I can't remember which one it was. I think he passed away, gave him a bunch of his fishing tackle because his dad was into like Lake St. Clair, like trolling style, like walleye fishing. And then like salmon and stuff like that. And then his grandfather's really into fishing too. But he never really got into it because he was doing sports and work and life just like everybody else. Right.
Yeah.
And so he got all this fishing tackle. And he's like, I don't know, maybe I'll go fishing. So he messages me and he's like, hey, you want to go fishing? I got this little Wilderness Systems kayak and like I got a cool lake that I can launch near me. I was like, hell yeah. So I drive up there. We caught like 600 bluegill because I was like, I just wanted him to catch fish. Like I was just like, I wasn't worried about what species. I was like, dude, we're just gonna catch some fish. Like we got it. So we got that done, and then I cut him up on his tailgate, and let him and the wife cook him up and have a delicious treat. And then, yeah, man, that was it. I mean, we fished together a whole bunch after that, and he bought. It was way later, a couple of years later, but he bought he had a GoPro for his gym. So Jeff's amazing. The business side of Jeff is incredible. He's an entrepreneur through and through. And, I think this was his second gym, I think maybe his third. And he had a CrossFit gym, and he had very, very, very successful CrossFit gym in Northern Michigan. One of the most successful in the state. Like whenever they ranked, they're in like the top 5 every time.
Oh, wow.
Super successful. And so he had this camera for that business. And his people at the gym are like, you should film these, like do it on YouTube. And he's like, what? No, that's silly. And then he did it one time and just kind of started doing it. And then he was like, man, it kind of conned me into it later on. And I would just go fishing because I just wanted to go fishing. But then I would have a bunch of fish catches and it would be like, well, if you only had a camera, I could have used that footage. And I was like, fine. So I'm like using a GoPro 7 and I'm just fish catcher guy. Versus Jeff was very good at like the social media side of things. And then we just didn't stop. That's all it was. We just kept doing that.
That's awesome. And so, yeah. And that's, you guys have grown yourselves into like an empire and stuff like that.
I mean, we have our own way of doing it. It's unique. I mean, we're not as big as we want to be. I feel like we think that there's a lot more. We both think of this as a business. Cause like, I like to think that I have a good business brain. Like I understand the business side of things very well just for what I do professionally. And Jeff is very, very good at making changes, being agile, understanding, what could come next and trying new things. He's so good at all that. So like together, we have done what a lot of people can't do, which is change with the times, because it's amazing how fast things have changed. And if you looked at like the landscape of creators and people in fishing, even 6 years ago versus now, we're one of the few holdouts that is continuing to get bigger and kind of change with times, versus there's a lot of people that just never changed and were big because they started when YouTube just started.
Yeah.
And they're just kind of hanging around, not changing and just doing what they've always done, which they had success, but they're not different. They're the same. And I think that's the one thing that's probably different with us. Like if you look at what we used to do versus what we do now, not even close. It's just it's a totally different beast, and it will be different in 5 years. It will be something completely different in 5 years.
Well, my curiosity is how did that conversation come about? Because I mean, you're just two buddies fishing, and he's like, "Here, use this GoPro. We're gonna make this footage. We're gonna put it out." Like, where were you in all this? Were you just kind of like, I'm just trying to get some fishing, dude? Like,
yeah, that was where it was. But I mean, some of it is like, the podcast is what got me more like tied into the work side of it. So he was like, well, I'd like to do a podcast, and like, we have fodder and we can have a conversation, and that's what we're going to do for the podcast. And the podcast is, by the way, is like the smallest part of what we do. Like we were going to stop the podcast until it was like,
it's part of my favorite. It's part of my favorite of what you guys do. Please,
I
I'm sorry.
appreciate
I mean,
that.
don't get me wrong. I love watching you guys' channel.
No.
We're gonna give you guys some flowers. You guys are really, really doing a great job. And like, I love the dynamic between you two. I love the way you guys go and explain everything. It's all awesome. But one of my favorite things is that I can just turn you on in the car, or I can turn you on while I'm fishing. And like, I love the show, dude. Like, you guys do a great job. So
the reason we have the show is because they can go on YouTube and it's live. If the live aspect was there, I probably would have been like, this is just too much time. I could be editing this night. I could be building kayaks. I could be sleeping maybe at this time. That would be nuts. No. Instead, we'll do this. So, but yeah, he brought me on to do the podcast. And that was when I just like started actually doing the stuff. And then once I was doing stuff, it was like, I enjoyed it. Right. And then I start editing videos, and then I start like being in and editing videos. And then we got to a point where we're like, I am in financially. I'm doing 50 or more % of the work, depending on what part of the work we're looking at. And we got to a point where like, not only have I been doing this for years, but we got to change the name. And that was where it was like sort of officially both of us 50-50 in full time. And I had already been doing it, but that was sort of like making partner, right, so to speak, where it was like, nope, there now it is true. All the equity is 50-50 at this point, because I mean, I had grown. I'm not saying I grew up by myself, but like the work that I was doing on Instagram blew up our business, just because of I was relentless. Like I made a video every single day for like I don't know, 4 years on Instagram, just every day, just post video every single day, and then that goes on YouTube, right? And then it was like that side of the business just grew a lot, like a lot. Same with TikTok. Like we have like 25,000 on TikTok. I turned it off a year ago. I just turned it on today, actually, back on. I'm probably gonna do some lives, but it was like I grew that. I mean, that Jeff posted a few videos, and if I had been doing what I was doing when we first got TikTok, we'd be massive.
Yeah.
There's something about like when you're one of the original content creators in a space, when in a new platform, you can't help but be huge.
Yeah.
I mean, look at YouTube. Like,
yeah, all the, like you said, all the greats that are still around, they haven't changed, but they're still doing just fine.
They're massive and they're great. And there's nothing wrong. That insight should be praised. Like understanding that you took a gamble on something like a YouTube. That was not what it is today when they started doing it. Like they did it for the love of the game, and they should be praised for that. I want to make sure that I'm not crapping on people that were like paved the way, because that's legit.
No, dude. I mean, hey, skateboarding. We had this kid that was local to here. He's at the skate park. We used to make fun of him all the time, or not make fun of him, but just give him a hard time. He's a kid. That's all we did. We all punk each other, you know. Yeah. And he would be filming himself and talking to himself and all this kind of stuff. We're like, dude, what are you doing? He's all YouTube. We're like, dude, no, bro. Well, that kid is like multimillionaire. Like he's doing his life right now, and I'm like,
that's right.
You know what,
look at Rob Dyrdek, right? Like,
yeah,
probably one of the richest people out there, and it's because he knew business and he decided, well, I'll do this now. When everyone else was like wishy-washy on it.
Yeah, we were all making fun of him, and now everybody
we're all working
jobs. We're all working jobs, and he's like buying Maseratis and like goofing off with his friends. I'm like, cool.
Oh, yeah, paying off his parents' house at 30.
Like, yeah, exactly. Buying family, all sorts of cool stuff. But yeah, no. So like, there's never negative against anybody who has been around doing this as long, is what I'm saying. And but I do want to take what I kind of get all over the place. Sorry, it's my brain.
ADHD. I got 80 of them.
Yeah, me too. I got 80 of them bitches. So the glass hold.
Yeah.
Because you have a house.
Yep.
You're married. You're doing the fishing thing. But what are you doing career wise, if you don't mind saying?
No, yeah. So I work for Domino's Pizza. I actually just changed, but I've been in procurement for the last like 10, 12 years. So that's like, I'm a buyer. So I started buying commodities like chocolate and cocoa, flavors and seasonings for Kellogg's. And then I moved to Domino's because they were right down the road from me, which is amazing. And I didn't even know what I was getting into, but they're one of the most successful businesses out there. And they're one of the most successful food companies like in the world right now. Really lucky to be at a company that's that successful. And dude, the talent at that company is insane. It's hard to explain. If you don't work in a professional environment, dude, these people are pros. Like, they're insanely good at what they do. I am a joke at this company. Like, there's some geniuses that work here. But I do procurement, so I worked my way up. So I was a manager up until a little while ago. Now I'm a senior manager, but I'm on like we would call it shared services. So I'm on the IT side, sort of. So like I work on like back end systems that enable everything that we do. So like that would be like bringing on like SAP, AI, source to pay, where it's like somebody wants to buy something, my system is going to determine how that happens, how suppliers get paid and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, for a long time, it was just, I worked at Target. I did supply chain for them. I used to arrange all the logistics for things like Christmas trees, 4th of July, stickers, like flags, ornaments. Literally, like if it was on a holiday end cap, I bought, like the Kid Made Modern. You know those like the big diamond crayon?
Yeah.
Yeah, I sourced all of those. So like I got those the first ones. I bought all those and got them over here. So that was my job for a long time there. And then I did that for Domino's for quite a while. I bought almost everything you can buy as a category for a pizza. There's only the only two things I haven't bought are pasta and like meats. Those are the only two things I never bought. And I was like literally in the middle of getting all the meat categories, like pepperoni, ham, chicken, all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
And then they were like, "Well, go do this job." So I'm like, "Whatever you say."
Sir. So you're doing that is your full time. That is your gig. You are 40, 60 hours
5 days a week. I get there at 8:30 when I'm dropping both my kids off, and I leave at 4:35, whenever I can get out, and I do that 5 days a week. And yeah, I mean, that it's funny because like you basically got to live 3 lives if you're doing this. There's
that's what I was getting
really
at.
early in the morning, you're a parent, then you switch jobs and you have to turn off being a parent, and you have to turn off being fishing guy, and you have to do job. And I do that hardcore till I'm done with that at 4:30 or 5. And I get home and I pick up my kids and take them to whatever class, and you go into dad mode, and then dad mode turns off and my wife goes to bed at like 9:30, and then it's 9:30 till 1, 2 in the morning. You do fishing guy, and then Saturdays and Sundays you get to be a fishing guy a little more.
Yep. And maybe rest for a hair.
Not really. I mean, honestly, I sleep like 4 hours a night. That's pretty standard.
Same, but I'm into that. I'm definitely into that. But yeah, dude, and that's what I was getting into is like you are a full-time employee, you are a full-time parent, full-time husband, and then you go down in the shop and you just start tinkering around and then you do all
turn some wrenches, shock myself, burn the place down. Yeah.
Yes. The editing, dude. I don't know how you stay awake during the editing. That's where I start to teeter. Like I filmed a video on a Friday and I could not stay awake to edit for 2 days.
You know what? I enjoy it. That's the thing. And I think that's the thing that like, I don't enjoy editing. I hate editing, but I enjoy the result. And so I'm fine with the work that goes into it. It's kind of like a lot of stuff. I appreciate how good I've gotten at it, and I make a system and I try and make it palatable. Is it challenging doing it at midnight? Yeah, it sucks. I do not love it, but I love the final product. I love the business. And so I don't mind editing at all. I really don't. Like, if I could do it at noon or 8:30 in the morning, I'd edit all day. I don't care. Like, that'd be great. I would triple the amount of videos I'm putting out, but that's not how it works. So, but yeah, it's hard. It's hard doing it at night. It sucks. I don't know. And I always do it at night. I do I have the agreement I have with my wife is that, this is a lot of time, and my kids are young, and they were babies when I started doing this. So that's a lot of time away on a Saturday and a Sunday. And that's a lot of work that you're putting on your spouse. So the deal is, and the deal that we sort of silently and explicitly come to is like, I package fishing away almost completely from the day. It does not impact my day with my family, my kids, whatever, like as much as it could. I don't work on it until after 9 o'clock. And that's the time. That's the sacrifice that I'll sacrifice. I'm using air quotes that I'll make. But then I get, my Saturday or Sunday or whatever to get out and go fishing. Right. And that's the content creation part. And it's kind of the nice thing about it being a business. I have the excuse like, well, I have to film something.
Yep.
So I'm gonna go fishing. That's great. I love that. But everything else happens at night. So, and when you think about the schedule, it's crazy. So you have your we'll do the weekend first, right? So Saturday or Sunday is always a fishing day. And then Jeff posts the Monday videos. I post the Friday videos. So Jeff's usually already edited a video from the prior week for that Monday. So if it's Saturday or Sunday, he's not editing. He's editing during the week. I usually edit between either Sunday night, Monday night, or Tuesday night. And then mine goes up Friday. And I try and do that early just in case stuff happens, because there's always technical difficulties. Yeah. And that's the easiest part of the week, to be honest with you, because that's when I've had the most sleep. So I try and edit early. Like I edited Friday's video yesterday, and then Monday. And then Tuesday, we have members only once a month, and that comes up way more than you would think. So that eats up an editing, because that goes from 8:15 till 10 o'clock. And then Jeff and I get on and we work after that. So follow-up emails, phone calls, strategy, whatever it is, we do all that after the fact. So then every Wednesday's next, because that's show night. So 8:15 all the way till same thing till 9, 10, whatever, 10:30. Then we work after that. So then a lot of Thursday night if I don't edit earlier in the week, and then that's due the next day. So there's it's all one shot getting done. And then Friday I actually take a break. That's almost 99.9% of the time I actually take a break on Fridays. And then you repeat that cycle all over again. So really, I get maybe 2 nights a week off.
Well, I mean, still okay. So your 2 nights a week off is, and I'm putting it because I'm in a similar schedule.
Oh yeah.
Although this podcast kind of is a point of contention because it's always before everybody goes to bed is when it starts.
It's hard.
It's like it gets tricky.
Yeah.
But what I was gonna say is your normal is like not everybody else's normal by any means. In fact, I've had this conversation many a times with say my wife, like, Shelly, are you like addicted to this? Is this like a thing? Like, because it's very unhealthy how much like you will not sleep to get something. Like, you're in your garage. I could hear you yelling at night, and then lights and all this. I'm like, because I'm putting lights in the kayak or something like that. You know, like
cussing. Yeah, if you're not cussing, you're not working.
Yeah, or bleeding. You know, but point being is like,
if you're bleeding, you're cussing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but she's like, you know, she's concerned about that schedule. Normal people don't see this part of you at all. Like no one does. They see the little clip of video and they listen to the podcast or they watch the live. They don't understand the amount of effort. And I know you guys have said, yeah, a lot of work goes into this, but I'm trying to make a point that this is not light work by any means.
No.
Like, you are sleeping 4 hours a night because that is your normal now. Like,
yep. Yeah, that's the standard. And like, you know, we get to go on vacation, but like if Jeff and I go on a fishing vacation, which we do get to do, we get to go on awesome trips. Like when we went to Vancouver Island, I had to edit double time because I had to edit before we go on the trip. So that means I'm filming double time as well. So when I go out for a normal trip, I try and film 2 videos every time we go out. I'm filming 4 videos, which means I'm doing like no fishing. Yeah. And then I have to go edit those. So my normal getting 1 to 2 nights off, that's 0 nights off. So I am deceased. Then we go on the trip. That trip has to produce 6 videos minimum.
Yes.
And then right when I get back, the day we get back, I have to edit one of those videos for the following Friday. And then I have to upload all the clips. I have to unpack all the stuff. I have to clean off all the gear. I have to reorganize everything. I have to then continue to do what we were doing. So I have to film. I post a video every week. When I'm done with the show, I'm going to film a little video about these shoes. Right? Like that.
Are those the Under Armour ones?
No, actually, these are the Rocky makes these. They're freaking nuts. These are called the Rebound. They're freaking sick.
Those are tight. Don't show too much though, because this is coming out on Wednesday, and I want you to get all the.
But yeah, but that's the and then but then all this that train is still going. So you have to. There's no like you. If you get a break, I'm using air quotes again. You have to earn that break by editing ahead of time, and then you pay for it on the back end because all your sleep is crushed. You have nothing. Then you have to get back and be happy and smile and do the camera thing. So it is the only reason it works, to be honest with you, is one, there's 2 of us. I don't know how other people do it. That's miserable and boring. I could not imagine doing it alone. I really can't. I don't know how people do it. And then 2, we balance each other out.
You do.
So like I am a lot of negative things and Jeff is a lot of positive things. Right. And so you get this like there was a time, like I'll give you a good example. There's a time where Jeff was going through a lot and he's like, I need to get out of this. This is not healthy for me right now. I need to step back. And that could have blown up our YouTube channel. Once you stop posting, it's over. Same with almost everything else.
Yeah. And
I was like, take whatever time you need. I'll shoulder the load. So I'm posting 2 to 3 times a week on YouTube. I'm posting 7 days a week. Well, technically 10, 12 days a week on Instagram, and then plus stories. And then I'm doing the shows on my own. And I did that for like 6 weeks. Right. And my kids are 2 and 4 at that time. So I'm getting no sleep at all. None.
No.
4 is not happening. It's like 2 to 3 a night, like between kids waking up and staying up late and everything. And then, but that's a death sentence for a channel at some point. And that's where people fall off. Yeah. And that's one of the reasons we haven't.
Yeah. Because, dude,
there's 2 of us.
Props to you for stepping up in that small amount of time. Because that's like you said, that's impossible.
6 weeks is an eternity. But he does the same thing, right? There are times when it's like, dude, I don't know what we're going to do. I got nothing. And then all of a sudden, somebody else steps up and, that's how we stay consistent. And that's how it's even possible. I mean, like, it's the only way. I hate to say it's not the only way. Obviously, there's a lot of people that do this, but to do it with a full, I think the people don't realize, like, it seems like a lot of work, it's a lot of living.
Mhm.
Like, I feel like I'm living my life. Like, my life is like extremely full. I get to be a full-time dad. Full-time. I get to be
Yeah.
a cool full-time dad. I get to be cool full-time fishing content creator, which I love doing, and make videos and do things I like. And I also get to be make enough money to where like I'm good.
Yeah.
Like, family's taken care of. Like, we're good. I can save for college. I can do all that stuff. That doesn't work without Jeff, and that doesn't work without my wife.
Yeah.
If it's not for my wife, I can't do the content creation thing. So that's gone. It's not for Jeff. I can't do the content creation thing. I couldn't do my job, right? If it wasn't for my wife, I wouldn't be able to be full-time dad because I wouldn't be able to fish.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yep.
without them, people are always like, well, I hate this. This makes me very angry when people are like, well, my wife's the glue that holds the family. It's like, dude, that is not what your wife does. Your wife is allowing you, enabling you to live a life that you want to live.
Yes.
Without your wife, she's not glue.
No.
That whole term like makes me ill. I get so mad about it. I understand no one's being malicious, but it
Yes.
just seems like you don't even understand what you have.
Mm.
And that's why again, without Jeff, I wouldn't do this. There's no way. I would have quit for 2 eternities ago. Would never have started. And then, without my wife, I would have had to have quit. Either my full-time job or this job. There's no way.
Yep.
Or I wouldn't be able to get to be a dad.
Yeah. Dude, and that's okay. So all the stuff falls on the floor. The only thing that really matters at the end of the day is the kids.
100%,
like
yeah.
at least, in my opinion.
No question.
And I'm not a great dad. Like I'm a bad dad.
All good dads think they're bad dads, though.
Yeah, but I'm also like,
if someone thinks they're a good dad, I know they're not good.
All right, there you go. Yeah, I try and not. Whatever. I do my best. I do my best with what I got.
Absolutely.
And like I said earlier, there's no playbook. But at the end of the day, like, I want my kids. The whole reason I even started the YouTube or went off on the YouTube, and it wasn't for the fishing, and it came to fishing, but it was started off. I wanted to just make videos of like just life, because photo albums are not really a thing anymore. We all have cell phones, and I can't transfer my cloud when I die because I won't be in. I have a feeling that I won't be within my right mind to be like, here's my password to my phone. Here you can get all the stuff from the cloud there. Like, I don't think that that's going to be a thing. So my YouTube was originally supposed to be like a living thing, and the fishing thing just kind of jumped in, and it was fun to do, and it's super entertaining. But at the end of the day, like, the only thing that I would ever do the only thing that I would ever leave all this stuff on is the stuff with the kids. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, at the end of the day, if all this fails and I can't go out and go kayak fishing anymore because my wife doesn't want to allow me to have that time, because you said it best, like, they are the rock. As soon as the rock rolls out of the way, the flood hits. You know what I'm saying? So I'm lucky, and I'm glad you have the same perspective of like, I'm lucky to have a strong partner that's willing to like carry the load when I'm not there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a real thing. And then me being the sole provider, like, I'm gone a lot. I have to work, and I can't swing. I can't work on somebody else's house sitting in my own. So So I was just curious. How did that conversation go down? How is that working for her? Do you do check-ins? Do you like make sure everything's cool? And
so we've been doing it for a long time. So when we first started, I was very inefficient with what I used to do. I used to do it during the day. I would butt up right up against bedtime and other times that were important. That was too much. And and I don't get to fish as much as I want. And a lot of that's because of filming, and also because I could fish eternally. But whatever.
Yeah. Same.
We have like this ticking clock of like, depending on how the day is going, when I'm out fishing, it's like I can leave at 6 or 5 or whatever, right? Start as early as you want. That's irrelevant. So get out. And we know each other very well. So I know that if I leave when she's awake, it's not going to be good, right? That's like salt in the wind for no reason. That's just her personality, and so I leave early.
No, that's a real thing. Like that, not just her personality. That's a real thing. Like they watch.
I'm just saying, I get it, but it's bad. She does not. She's unhappy about it. Something where she's like, yeah, go ahead, go Saturday's the day, go ahead. if the day's starting to go downhill and I'm on my way out being like, I'm gonna go have fun with my buddy, that's salt in the wound. So I don't do stuff like that.
Okay,
So I leave early, right? And I empty the dishwasher, make lunches, do the whole nine before I go, right? Walk the dog, feed the dog, all that kind of stuff. That you're not dealing with that before I go fishing, right? So
I'm taking notes just so you know, because I don't do half that shit.
conscientiousness, right? Like just be a good partner, right? So
Yeah.
you do all that, you leave, you go fishing, and then have the check-in, right? And that's like one of our recent discussions. She's like, just freaking check in on me, ask, and like, I don't have to ask, so that's why I haven't been. But now that you said that, is that the hardest thing in the world to do? If that's what lets me potentially stay out till 3 or 4 instead of 1 or 2, sure. And if I have to leave at 1 or 2 and I want to leave at 4, suck it up. Time's up.
Yep.
It's not the day. Today's not the day. Get home. And so I leave. And that's those are the types of things. And then she'll tell me like it's too much, and I'm like, okay, well, how can I minimize how this is impacting the family? Well, I just won't start until everyone's in bed. That's fine. If that's what it takes, that's what it takes. And that's how we kind of developed that system together. And that system came up of those conversations, those check-ins, those, how are you doing? Today seemed rough, and then read the freaking room. Like when you leave, if it's coming down, if the walls are closing in before you even go, don't plan to stay out till 5, bro. Like you're coming back early, and even if you don't check in, just come back early. I have the same conversation every time I leave. Phone call, not a text. How are you doing? I can tell this is not good, or it's great. Whatever. Do you want a coffee?
Yes.
Can I bring you a treat? Right.
Yep.
And then I think the other thing that a lot of people forget is like, your spouse is a person too. So like my wife likes to run, she likes to bake, she likes to garden. We have this conversation where I'm like, you need to leave. Get out of here. Now that the fishing time is done, maybe it's the next day, maybe it's that afternoon, whatever. I don't want to see you.
Yes.
Leave the house. Get out of my sight. And I mean that in the most loving way possible of like, moms shoulder that emotional load and they feel like they can't leave. And I'm like, you need to leave because you're overburdened. It's time for you to take a break. And so whether it's going for a run with a friend, go get coffee with somebody, go get lunch, just don't be in the house.
Yeah.
Don't be anywhere near these kids because they're momming you the whole freaking time. It actually makes my job harder, frankly. So I'm like, just go. I'm good. I can take the kids for a month. I don't care. Get out of my face. And you got to have that balance. So if you're not giving that time back, I don't think you've earned that time.
I love how you said that. I was just having this conversation with somebody the other day. Your wife is a human. Like our partners, all anglers. Your wife, she can tell you to go fishing all day and she can handle the house. And she could never tell you this, or you could never, but she's still a person. Mothers designate themselves into a position of mom because they are so, I don't know how to explain the woman factor in it, but
I have read an amazing article about this actually. Okay, and I think it's extremely insightful. The article, I'll summarize as much as I can.
Yeah.
Because mothers take on the role of, they call it like the emotional work, right? Remembering birthdays, getting birthday gifts, signing the kids up for activities, signing them up for school, worrying about all that stuff, worrying about their schedules, water bottles, lunches, what they're eating, all that kind of, they take that whole emotional load on. Dads don't typically. And if you went back 20 years to our parents, they absolutely did not.
Yeah.
And so
they were
you
even
have
around.
what you have is this compounding effect of like dads who are not connected to their families.
Yes.
So like if you polled like 50 people, 25 women, 25 men, you're like, how close are you with your siblings? Do you talk to them every day, once a week, twice a week, 6 times a year, whatever? I promise you the dudes are talking to their families way less than the females, than the women. The women are connected to their families, their siblings, their moms, their grandmas, way more than we are.
Yes.
So what you end up with is like, that's just how you operate. And that's how you're closer to your family. So you have more obligations versus dudes are not. And they don't own that work in the house. And so when person who's connected to their family becomes mom, that's their job. Because that's all they've ever known. They've never even known how to not do that. That's just how they grew up. Versus when you're out of the house as a dude, a lot of times You don't talk to your brothers enough or your sisters enough. You don't talk to your grandma enough. You don't talk to your parents.
No.
You're not maintaining
Yeah.
that relationship. You barely remember birthdays. You suck at that stuff. You suck at it. And it's because your dad sucked at it. And I'm just saying, you know how much harder it is for me to do all that stuff? Like, I'm so bad at it because, like, I watched my dad not worry about it and worry about work and all the other stuff and cleaning, working on the cars and working on the houses and buying tile and laying roof and whatever. Yeah. And so that's what I do because that's just all I've ever known. And I don't have the connection with my dad versus my mom has a connection with her parents. And so that's just what she does. And I swear to God, that hit me like a bolt of light. And I was like, yeah, that's so obvious.
Yes. Dude, thank you for saying that, because like that goes in my head and I don't know how to put it out of my mouth.
I just read it. Somebody else said it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, well, thanks for bringing it up.
Yeah.
The only reason I was saying that is like I know my wife and who she was before when we started dating. Mm-hmm. She's still the same girl.
Yeah.
Inside, there's still that girl in there. Mm-hmm. And I've noticed this over the past like couple years because we have the toddler and she's pregnant again with another one. But like my new encouragement or my new personal goal as her partner is to encourage her to go back to being that person. You can be mom, but you also are a human and you need to go do that person too.
Think about how big of a part of your life your hobby.
Oh yeah.
Your activity, whatever.
Yeah.
Think about how much time, effort, energy, money you put into that.
Mm-hmm.
If your spouse doesn't have something similar or a conglomeration of things that add up to the same, it's not fair.
No, it's not. Yep.
Like, so when my wife wants to buy a new pair of running shoes every month, you should buy 2 every month. I don't give a crap. Yep. You want to like she had this work thing where she was like, oh, we're going to go to London. And I was like, I say the same thing every time this happens, any version of this. She'll be like, do you want to take the family? I'm like, F off. You take 6 extra days, use your Delta companion ticket and fly one of your friends out.
Yep.
I don't want to see you. Go have fun in London. You should not be anywhere near the kids. You're out of your mind.
Yeah.
Do you know how much work that's going to be? Go have fun. You're crazy. You're literally nuts.
I saw that. Yeah. I saw this thing the other day. It's like, yes, we take family vacations so we can hear our children be ungrateful and complain about something totally new. I was like,
and I don't have to do dishes. Thank God.
Yeah.
That's it. It's just I don't have to do dishes at this place.
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah, right. Well, I mean, when mom's gone, I don't do dishes either. Everybody eats on a paper towel, and it's always like pizza or something cool, you know.
I don't know why dads do that too, because I'm avoiding a dish every single. If I can just eat over the sink, that's what I'm doing.
You know, and she gets on me like she tells me I'll clean the whole house. The other day I was out there scrubbing all the doors from all the little handprints and stuff, all the lower half of the doors and all this stuff. And she gets home and she'll, did you do the dishes? I'm all, I did all this stuff. She's like, but did you just do the dishes? I'm like,
you start with the dishes.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I mean, but I love her to death, you know, and I'm not the best. I'm not the best dad or the best partner, but like these points of view, and thank you for that reading, because sometimes I need to get myself snapped back, and I'm sure plenty of other people need to get snapped back in reality occasionally.
Being in the fishing side of things, there's a lot of the opposite. I feel like I'm on an island. Like 99, like I'll say something like that on a video and somebody will be like, pussy, and you're like, God, you know what, if I could just dump truck you, I do that.
I get that. That's why I do this, is because that's what I get out of this. Like, shut the fuck up, or shut,
it blows my freaking gore. I personally, it's hard for me to understand. I can kind of see it. I can understand the ignorance of it. What I can't understand is when someone makes like a very compelling argument, that's your response is like, pussy. I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, what are we doing here?
All right, thanks, bud. Yeah, thanks for your insight. Yeah,
I see now why you're ignorant about this too.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I come from a construction industry too, and most of the construction industry, myself included, multiple marriages.
Yeah, you got to be divorced to get a job. I get it.
Basically, well, because you're gone. You're gone all the time. 80 hours a week.
Yes.
You know, and then when you are home, you're so dog tired you can't help anybody. You're worthless.
And then you turn 55 and your back's made of cardboard. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's and brutal, dude.
Yeah.
I do those jobs, so I know how absolutely miserable it is to deadlift a trailer onto a truck. I know how horrible it is to just move dirt for work. Like, I've done it. It sucks.
Well, all I'm saying is like there's very few guys. Like my buddy Andy's another one. Love him to death. We take pride in our wives and our relationships with them.
I love that.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a big deal. It's a big deal.
It's also a lot of work.
I wouldn't be able to be out here swinging a hammer if she wasn't willing to take care of, the most
Like, you
important
can't.
things.
A lot of people look at being a dad as like a job that they abhor, and I think that that's also like a problem, because like I look at that as a benefit of what I do. Like I feel very fortunate to be like a dad, but then
Yeah.
also the stuff too, like versus, oh, I gotta go do that. Like that went out the window. It took about 2 years to not look at my kids as a job, but it went out the window.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's so I hate to say that my son's 10, but like, well, he is 10. I don't hate to say that he's 10. I hate to say that it has taken me a very long time to get to that point, and the only reason being is because I don't know any different. And so trying to rewrite this playbook is pretty difficult. And I think what it took was my daughter to be like, don't leave. I'm like, Daddy's going fishing. She's like, don't play with me. I'm like,
Don't do that. Yeah.
okay, I'll play with you. I mean, it's Saturday. I could have gone fishing, but I was like, okay. And I just sat on the floor and got drawn all over with markers. She's all tattoos and just drawn all over me. But I was like, I'm cool with this. Like,
Great.
all right. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, trust me, as emotionally together as I seem, like I'm not the best all the time. You know what I'm saying? So it's like being a dad is like this awesome adventure that I'm like trying to figure out how the balance is. And that's why I was kind of questioning you, like, or asking, like, kind of putting this into a large pan question is where do you balance all this out? And you've explained it lovely, like how you basically don't sleep, but that's how you balance everything out in your life.
I mean, there's a price to pay, right? If you want to be a good partner, then it's going to take work.
Yeah.
I mean, think about all the work that your wife puts into you, because that's the other thing is like, how do you think you learn how to be like a decent person? Well, you got to take notes from somebody who actually knows what they're doing. So
yes, exactly. I was not this nice. I've never been this nice. And then
I'm still not nice.
Well, I've done a lot of therapy and I've done a lot of things like
therapy is
whatever.
incredible.
It's amazing.
That should
and
be
she's the one
that should be a God-given right.
It should be on free healthcare personally, but point being is she pushed me into like this trauma therapy stuff that I was not ready for, and it
life-changing.
It all changed everything.
Life-changing.
Awesome. So
talking to somebody about things that make you upset, that shouldn't be so expensive.
It created a person in me that I could talk to everyone about everything that's real. Like what really fucking matters, and that's what my goal for this show is let's talk about like the reality of everything. And and you're really diving down the hole with me, so I appreciate it, man. But yeah, like we could talk about gear and we could talk about PBs all day, but like
do that all day. Well, my PBs are trash, but gear for sure.
But and I could do that all day too, and I love that. That's my passion inside. But really, what it is like, dude, like let's talk about the stuff that really fucking matters. And like you've brought it so perfectly, like, and it happened organically. Like our partners, like our partners are the most important factor in what we get to do. So.
Well, yeah, the irony of it is like I see a lot of content. Because it's all dudes. I like 90. I look at my stats. So we're like over 90% male following, right? And then that's fishing is probably around that as well. And I'll see like my friends, people that I'm friends with on the internet, and they'll be posting this stuff that's like just this like lonely macho, you got to do it yourself, like content, like this whole like it's always like some knight in our AI armor,
or the wolf or something,
or lion or whatever. Like, do you think lions don't hunt, idiot? The wives do it, you freaking moron. Like, I do not understand that content at all, because what you're saying with that is you decided to not invest in what actually pays you, which is your relationship. So when we talk about like, hey, I was able to take over for Jeff, our relationship is like, people call us like, they're like, you guys are gay, and like all the time. And I'm like, you don't have any actual friends. It's weird that you think that, because you don't actually know what friends are. And like, I look at my relationships with like my friends, my wife, my kids, and all that as like, those are investments, because when I do need support, when things suck, and like I have a rough, like this weekend, I need to get that Garmin mounted. That was the 5th thing I did that morning. Jeff and I had to make phone calls. We had to work on, we're launching a website later this year. We're working on that. We had all this other stuff to do. We had to film 2 videos. We do all that stuff. And I start mounting that motor at like 2:00.
Oh,
I'm supposed to be home at that time, right? I'm supposed to be at home at 2. And I call my wife and she goes, we're good. Kids are great. Sun's out. It's not hot. Today's awesome. Take your time.
yes.
Look, I'm sorry, but like when you're Lonely Island guy, you're effed. You're cooked. You're done. You don't get the motor mounted.
Yep.
And you go home and you get roasted.
Yep.
And then you're sucky dad. You can't be a good dad after that.
Mm-hmm.
But because I invest in my relationships, I got my buddy who's willing to let me use his garage and hang out at his garage for an extra couple hours, is patient with me for being a complete dick all day. And then on top of all that, I go home, all smiles. Got the extra time, got the motor mounted, which is rad for me, and everything's cool. And you know what? The next day, guess who gets to run early in the morning when they want to run? My wife. And I get to hang out with my kids. Dude, it's like it's weird to see that like macho lonely guy stuff and see it be promoted as a positive thing when I'm like, you're out of your mind. You literally making this 5 times harder than it has to be. You could be way happier and have backup plans, bro. Like you could be so much better at life if you just invested in your relationships.
Yep. Yeah. And
it's very weird. I just every time I see it, I'm like, man, what are you doing?
Every time I see the Knights and the Wolves, I just automatically go, that's the 30-year-old guy at the high school party. Okay, cool. And just keep on moving on. You know what I'm saying?
Dude.
Yeah,
One just doesn't get the joke. Never tried. And look, and I'm not, I hate it because like a lot of people listening to this are like, oh man, I posted that yesterday. Like,
hey, I'm not above it. I take all those.
I take.
It's all good. I was gonna say I just jumped in because I'm like I get it because I used to take those Facebook quizzes or whatever, like all that stuff. I thought they were super fun because whatever, it's entertaining. You're just it's basically a little video game for a minute. But no, dude, I
can't get behind it. You're missing the joke, man, and you're missing out on the good part.
I hear what you're saying, sir, but it doesn't have to be like that. It doesn't.
No, yeah.
You put yourself here.
I feel bad for people that feel like that because I know what they're going through.
Yeah.
Like I feel that you feel like you have to do this because you don't have a friend right now that you can rely on, and you don't have a relationship with either your family or spouse or whatever that you feel like you could just say, I had a bad day, and like you can just have a hug or a beer or whatever you want to feel good. Like you just I feel bad for you, but I also feel like there is this much larger mountain of content that you could be consuming that would be like, it's okay to have a bad day and tell somebody about it.
Yeah.
You know what that makes you? An intelligent person, because you are actually taking care of yourself. Like I swallowed that stuff for years. I did that. I was in like rugby culture. You think those guys are smart? Like, no, dude. But all that leads to is just making life like way harder than it's got to be. So yeah, invest in your relationships, man. That's the secret sauce of how we've gotten through the 6 years of this. And like, yeah, Jeff and I argue, like we butt heads. It happens, but it's also out of a place of respect, because I can sit here and I can tell you all the things that Jeff's way better at than I am, and it doesn't hurt my feelings.
Yep. Yeah.
Like, and I can be like, I wouldn't have thought of that, this thing X, Y, and Z, whatever, or I wouldn't have solved this problem X, Y, and Z. And I would hope, right, that Jeff's able to do the same thing, because otherwise, like, dude, that we would have murdered each other.
Yeah. Dude. Hey, you know what? Like, at the end of the day, like, arguments aside, like respect, whatever, all that stuff set aside, at the end of the day, like, what matters is the fact that the 4 a.m. phone call.
Oh yeah.
At least to me and like my close friends, the 4 a.m. phone call. Like, my phone's on. If you call me at 4 a.m. and you need me to be there, I'm going to be there. Like, that's what it is. And like the only people,
and it's not always for the broken tire or like the broken truck or that's actually not for that at all. It's my dad's in the hospital today.
Yep.
It's can you come watch my kids?
Yep.
And like, I can trust you to do that well. You're gonna give them water. You know what I mean? Like that, like
Yeah.
that's the, you know, I had a financial problem. Spot me a couple grand, right? Like that's what we're talking about. We're not talking about like, oh, I need you to bring your wrench over here. What, dude? No.
Yeah. Help
That
me work on
no,
this motor. No,
no, that's not what I'm talking about.
same. No, it's
Yeah.
not. I mean, I will do that stuff, but not at
I
4
do it all the
a.m.
time.
I'll be there the next day, bro. But
Yeah,
like,
see at noon.
yeah, if you call me and be like, bro, I cannot, I'm not gonna go to sleep tonight. I'm like, all right,
I'm
man, I'm on my
going to
way.
lose it.
Yeah, I'm on my way. Like, say less,
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Exactly.
You know, like that's what it
Yep.
is. You know,
I agree.
that's relationships. So, all right, man. I've held you for long enough, but we have a question round.
I'm good.
It's not a rapid fire, but it is a question round.
I'm good.
So I do these questions just they're questions that I think about when I listen to other shows or when I'm just, you know,
Shower thoughts.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Shower thoughts. Thank you. Shower thoughts. So first question. Who's your favorite angler and why?
Good question. I really like Ben Nowak. He's a freak.
Yes.
He's a freak.
He's so awesome as a person. Like I've listened
Such
to
a
him
nice
interview
guy.
for the time. I'm like, dude, this guy's rad.
Great dad. Love Christine Fisher. I followed her she was on our podcast way before she is what she is now. Not that we like discovered her or anything, but like she's just incredible. I think like I think fishing is lucky to have her.
Mm-hmm.
She's a freak. And Egbrett
Bailey.
Beast. Love
He's
watching
best,
that guy.
dude.
I think he does it the right way. He has that weird balance that's hard to maintain of like he's down to earth, he's a real dude, good person, maniacal about his fishing, but like doesn't let it take over. And I think he's very insightful. So those I don't know, off the top, those are some of my favorites. Oh, Latimer, B-Lat. Of the professionals, it's B-Lat, and there's nobody else. Yeah.
Bro, I love it. Oh, dude.
Okay.
I've been
Seth Fighter. Take him or leave him. B-Lat, national hero.
Dude, oh my god, I love Brian Ladder. I've reached out to him a couple times, like, bro, please, can you come on? I just want your perspectives, like his points of view and the way he approaches everything in life is incredible.
All of it. He's a
incredible.
Pro.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
He's a pro at life. I love that dude.
I had Bailey on this show. I've had Bailey on the show a couple times now, but I've had Bailey on this show once, and I interviewed him, and like his refusal to take a compliment is amazing. So Bailey, you're killing it right now, dude. You are amazing, and I love your content.
Yeah, dude.
You're doing awesome. So,
everything. It's all mint.
Yeah, dude. So good. All right. Spend a day with anyone doing whatever you want. Who is it?
Oh man. Okay. Not including my wife, because it would probably be my wife, and we would probably there would have to be a social event and then a non-social event, but not including that. Man, it would be someone from history for sure. Deceased person, 1000%. Yes. And then you didn't say dead or alive, so I took dead. And it would definitely be somebody who is like in the outdoors. So it would be like a Davy Crockett. It would probably be something for like in either like Mayan Mexico or like Native American, like Western US.
Che Guevara or somebody. Like,
yes.
Yeah, dude. That's
that
awesome.
Like history is super cool. And the history of like hunting and fishing is like even cooler. It's like watching some, like, you know what I get curious about? There's all these stories and you kind of see like how people were able to feed their families with like really primitive like hunting techniques and stuff. Yes. And I want to know how easy it was to kill a deer. Because like shooting a deer now so hard on public land, like with cities everywhere, and they're all educated and they're all like super good at hiding these really tiny areas. I want to know, was it like you just wake up, open the tent flap, blow a deer away? Like it's that easy? Like, or was it like super hard? Like, because there's this guy, there's a town called Petoskey, and it's named after like a fur trapper who was the son of a French fur trader who married an Indian princess and then became an honorary Indian chief. And then like they named the town of Petoskey after him because he owned all the land in that area. And he was gifted it because of how good he was, not only at being a chief, but also for how good he was at like hunting. And he killed 50 bears one year and took 50 pelts up in a freaking sailboat to northern Michigan. Like that's how we translate. So like I would like that's what I would like to. That's probably who like the type of person I would go follow. Like I just want to know how that is even possible.
Yeah, dude. And then on a similar note, I want to know how we found out what we can eat. I want to know who was the guy that they made test to be like, is this good or is this bad? Are you gonna die? Or are you gonna live? Like,
It was me for sure.
Yeah.
Because like I'll eat anything. Like I
That's
figured out how
awesome.
to eat like every fish that I've ever caught. Like I figured out how to eat like and cook dogfish, gar, like you name it. I'll figure it out. I'll make it good.
That's awesome.
So yeah, dogfish, bowfin, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
You fillet them up. They're actually really easy to fillet. You skin them just like a catfish. You take out the mud line just like a catfish, cut them up into chunks, and then you fry them in 7-Up. The sugar, it makes it taste like lobster.
Really?
Really. It's insane.
Oh, all right.
It's completely insane.
Well, if I had them out here, I would do it.
They're nuts, dude.
Dude.
Anyway.
See, you guys get to catch a lot of cool fish that we don't have, but at the same time,
You guys
I
have
can
like
go to-
lingcod and stuff.
yeah, I
Like,
was gonna say I can go to the coast. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, it's not fair. It's not as cool as you think. Bluegill and like shell cracker, not as cool as freaking
lingcod and
not at all,
red-
dude.
and yeah.
Rockfish, all that.
Oh yeah. Well, okay. I'm gonna say this: if I ever go out on the ocean, it's gonna be on a big ass boat because I grew up next to the ocean. I know what's out there. I don't really feel like going out there. At least not on a kayak. I'm not that brave. Sorry, I'm just not. I barely swim. All right. Next question, perfectly leading into what's your biggest fear, dude?
Oh man, it used to be stuff like like being permanently injured because I'm so like my like being physically fit and like being able to play sports is so important. I was worried about like losing an eye or like because I've broken both my orbitals. I've broken all my fingers. I've broken like I tore the tendon in the top of my foot like completely. Tore my bicep last year. Like it's just I have like and like I've recovered from all that stuff like very well. And I can still do everything that I want to do. So I don't worry about that so much anymore. Like now that I'm older, I have intrusive thoughts about my kids getting hurt. My biggest fear is that my kids get like either physically or emotionally like irreparably hurt. Like that's what I'll just be like driving in my car and I'll just be like, what if my kid gets hit by a bus? I don't know. I have no idea, but just something horrible, something just ridiculously insane. And I'll have anxiety about it for like an hour and I have to like put it down. I have like put it away and I have to be like, dude, don't worry about that. You can't. And I'm very much like I like shove my kids outside these days with like, and I don't want to be around you. You don't need me around. So I'm trying to do that now. And so I am that guy. But yeah, I have those like random intrusive thoughts. I'm like, yeah, what if he stabs himself? I don't know. Like that's what I worry about.
Dude, you nailed it. I can relate to this only because my wife getting me into trauma therapy taught me what the difference between thinking and intrusive thoughts are.
Oh yeah.
Because I lived off intrusive thoughts.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. So I was like,
this is my inspiration.
Yeah, well, it just whatever. And so I've been able to like ease off the gas on my son and like kind of let my daughter do her thing, and like it's nuts. But yes, it's a huge fear. I can relate to that for sure.
When you see your kids like get like I remember, so my son, he hangs out with some older kids and they're like his friends. And so they, the types of like joking around that they do is like so much more mature than his is, even though they're like a year and a half older than him. But like they were like picking on him one day. Like one day he was like, he had painted his nails and he was like, he picked pink and it actually looked cool. And he thought it was cool. And we did it at the cottage. So we come back home and he's like, hey, can we take this off? And I'm like, why? And he's like, these two kids, they're going to make fun of me. And I was like, the dad in me, I was pissed off. I was I'm mad now. And I remember being like, I had to walk away. I take a deep breath. I had to walk away from him and come back, and he's crying.
Yeah.
I wanted to murder those kids for him,
Yeah.
but I had to be like, buddy, those kids are just stupid. And like, he's too smart. He's the firstborn. He's
Yeah.
too smart to like. He's not smart enough to understand that like he needs to like create his own sense of cool for him to be comfortable. He's not old enough to be able to do that, but he's too smart to like forget about it. And so he's stuck with that feeling. And he's crying because he knows he's going to get made fun of.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I told him, because like he used to be the throat punch kid.
Yeah.
He'd get into a fight and just punch kids in the throat. Yeah, I thought I was going to have to pull him out of daycare. I was like, God dang it. I was like, and I had to tell him, I was like, you can't just go around punching people. And I've taught him, like, we work on it all the time. It's not a good thing. But anyways, I was like I taught him how to punch. He actually punches really hard for how freaking, he's only 6. I'm like, how are you doing this?
Yeah, I saw my son's got footwork and stuff like that.
I'm like, how are you doing this? Anyways, I was like, dude, if any kid says one thing to you, haul off and rail them, and I do not care. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, no, I'll come to school. I'll handle it. You can just wail on whoever you want. I do not care.
Mm-hmm.
But like, that's the stuff that I worry about, like, more than at this point anything else. I don't worry about anything else.
Yeah. I'm sorry to keep jumping with stories and stuff back and forth, but yeah, I got the same. My wife told me the story. It broke my heart. I wanted to go to Costco and rip the building down. My daughter, she's 2, so she's getting used to the saying hi to everybody thing. She's finally not hiding behind us. Yeah. And every time she sees kids, like, all her friends are my son's friends, so they're all older than her. So she would see a kid and she'd be like, hi, want to play? Hi, want to play? Oh, yeah. Hi, my name's Avery. Hi. Saying hi. I don't know what is it. I think it's a California thing, honestly. I don't know what's wrong with people. All these kids would look at her and then look away and keep going. And my wife said, I just slowly watched her little light dim every single time she'd walk up to somebody and say hi, and they just looked at her and walked away. I was like, dude, that's so. And I was like, was it just kids? She's like, no, it's adults too. I was like, dude, I don't know what is wrong with people, like, whatever. Anyways, I wanted to go rip the building down. I wanted to go to Costco and just
find the footage. I want AI facial recognition of everyone. Get me an address.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking do it. Yeah. Jeff and I both had moments like that, and it's hard because like the dad in you wants to like beat the crap out of somebody.
Yep.
It's 2026, 2025. We can't do that anymore. But dude, I've done it. It feels good in the moment. Yeah. It doesn't help anybody. And that's the thing, is like, it's really hard to have to walk away. You have to swallow it. And you have to remember it's not about you. And you got to be like, what should I be doing right now?
Yeah. Let me do damage.
You got to like teach. You got to
more damage. Yeah.
Yeah. You got to teach your kid how to handle it versus try and change everybody around your kid. Like you got to teach. This is my opinion.
No, it's true.
I want to teach my kid. I want to teach my son. Like, he's gonna have to go through 500 of those instances before he figures out how to handle it. And that's the part that sucks about being a parent. At least in my opinion, it's the hardest part. Is like, you want to fix it for them. Yeah. You got to help guide them how to handle it themselves. And that's why I always say, like, when people are like, well, I'm a bad parent, I'm like, well, if you think you're a bad parent, you're a great parent, because every single, like, like I think I said it earlier, I was like, if you think that you are a good parent, I promise you're trash.
Yep. Yeah, most definitely. Because all you're doing is just reliving your life again.
You're definitely doing it wrong.
Yeah. Yep. All right. So, have you ever been broke because of fishing?
No, but I've been very broke in my life. I grew up broke. Like, I know all the food hacks. I know every single cheap food. Like,
ramen spread, baby.
I grew up on tuna and peanut butter, bro. Like, I know cheap food. I know the cheapest cereal ever. Yeah. Like, I don't know. So I grew up that way. So that used to be something I would be nervous about, is like, being broke again. Because like I grew up that way. I mean, we grew up and I shared beds with my brothers until middle school.
Yeah. I mean, and you said it, like, you started working at 14, like you knew the value of like where you were at.
I bought my own toothpaste.
Yep.
When I was like in, a freshman in high school. Yeah, I know how, dude. It's like, you learn the value of money when you're poor. That's for sure.
Yep. And then you never return.
Nope.
Yep.
No, if you can get out, yeah, you're out and you're not going back. That's
Yep.
for damn sure.
All right. What's your biggest struggle right now then?
Well, it's mostly personal stuff, like
Yeah,
trying to be
personally.
a better parent and all that kind of stuff. But outside of that, like on the business side of things, Jeff and I, we're always fighting with stuff. Like our biggest thing right now is we've got a good plan where we need to get a new business off the ground that pays us. It has to be fishing related, but it can't be related to content creation. It'll be related, but it can't be reliant on it. And
Mhm.
so we're building a business right now that will feed enough money to where Jeff can go full time. And then that's our biggest limitation is time. It's the only reason we're not bigger.
Yeah.
And it's the only reason that's the cap right now is we just don't have time to do all the stuff we want to do. We could do so much more stuff, just no time. So our biggest thing is like within the next 6 months, I want Jeff to go full time.
Okay. Well,
He's got the shortest route to it. So
that's you and Jeff, but what's your personal? What's your biggest struggle? Thank you for saying that, though. I appreciate it.
no, but I mean that's it. That's what it is. Like
Okay.
it's more time. I need more time. And we both want to go full time. The bar is higher for both of us because we both have kids. He's got kids that are going to be going to college in the next 5 years ish. I've got young kids and they need to go through sports and life and eventually college and all that still. And so the bar is higher. I can't just like eat off a cardboard box and be fine. You know what I mean? And my wife and I both work, and frankly, I just don't want to give up all my retirement savings and all the money that I can make right now. It's hard I don't want to walk away from it. So I'm not ready to do that yet. So yeah, my biggest thing is just finding more time to fish and actually enjoy it, more time to make more stuff, more time to, do everything I want to do on the fishing side of stuff. Cause like people don't realize like Jeff and I, we handle our business. And that's like when companies reach out to us, we're able to say like, no, if you tell me like, if I tell you I'm making 5 videos, you're getting 6 videos. If I tell you I'm going to post 3 times a week, I'm posting 4 times a week. If I tell you I'm going to deliver, I'm going to over deliver every single time. And if I can't, I'll tell you, and I'm not going to, we're just going to hit pause. Like we treat this like a business. We handle it like a business, and we handle ourselves like professionals versus everybody else is like, yeah, send me a cooler. Like, all right, rad. Never hear from me again. Get it all the time. People say it all the time. And we'll do all the hard work. Like we went out to fish with Sup Customs. I'll unload the trailers. I'll load up the trailers. I'll help you rig up the batteries. Like I'm going to help you fog the motors at 11 p.m. and just get absolutely wrecked by mosquitoes. Like you're not going to do that by yourself. That's ridiculous. Like I'm not, we're in it. We're doing the job together. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, the biggest thing is just more time. So for me, that's it.
Dude, that's awesome. I can relate to that struggle 100%. There's not 26 hours in the day, and there really needs to be like 20.
9 days a week would be amazing.
Yeah, 30. Yeah. Why didn't the Mayan calendar reset something better?
It's Henry Ford. He's the problem.
There it is.
Freaking butthole.
Yeah.
And I say that being in Michigan.
So, all right. So, by the way, those Sup Customs things look super dope.
They are insanely cool, dude. They're so rad. They are slept on so hard.
I swear. I know. I started following them. I'm like,
dude, I'm telling you that
love my family.
That NT 600 on the back of one of those things, it's built for it, dude. It takes. I don't want to get into it. They're sick.
They rip. If you guys want more information, look at the Aggressively Anglers page
or Sup Customs, whoever you want, man. They're just go look at them. They're amazing.
Yep. All right. Major life accomplishment, like your life hammer, like the thing that you can genuinely beat your chest and be like, I'm very proud I did this.
I don't know. I have a lot. The easy one is like the fishing business. Man, I don't know.
I know it's late too. Sorry.
No, it's a hard question because
there's a difference between being prideful and having a sense of pride in something.
Yeah, I would totally agree. Yeah, well, and it's a personal thing too, because like the stuff that I would get like that I'm proud of, like it's more about how high was the mountain for me, not how high was the accomplishment, if that makes sense. So like
Yes.
the harder the thing, the more proud I am about.
Yes.
So for me, it was how long I played rugby because my body's not built for it. I'm not talented. I'm not that athletic, but I was able to go and play with like people who played for USA World Cup level rugby. Like, and did I always play the best? No, a lot of times I was absolutely not the best, but I have schooled some of the best players in the world. I had my moments, right? And like, I feed off that, dude. If I'm having a bad day, I flashbulb memory absolutely torching somebody who's twice as fast as me, twice as good as me. And it's because I never gave up. And I was there every single day. And I was just a bulldog about it. And that was really hard because I was getting wrecked. Like
Yep.
physically, I ate dinner in the bathtub a whole bunch of times in hot water because I couldn't move. Like, so for again, big accomplishment, not really, but the mountain was massive. And I just was like, I remember one time I was like, I'm gonna quit. I was like 3 years in playing after college, and I was like, I'm gonna quit. I don't need to do this. I could have so much time to do stuff I want to do. Go hang out with my friends. I could go drink beer. I don't know. And I was like, no. How about no? And I was like, I just kept going back and just kept going back and kept going back. And I was scared every single time out of my mind, kept going back. Yeah. And I was there every day. That was honestly, that's Matt. That was Matt. Outside of like, like my family. Yeah. That's the one. I'll hang my hat on that all day. I'd be like, I know that I could go into any sport. I know I won't be the best, but I promise you, when they go to make cuts, you're not fucking getting rid of me, dude. There's no fucking way.
Yes.
There's no way. There's no way.
Yes.
I
Dude,
refuse.
I love it. Dude, and that's the perfect example. It's not so much the size of the accomplishment, but the amount of the, like you said, like the hill that you had to climb to get there. Like that's awesome, dude. I love it. All right. Have you ever learned a lesson in life that you implemented on the water or vice versa?
Oh, yes. Therapy, actually. There's like this, you ever just like have, a lot of people don't fish with other people.
Mhm.
So if you don't fish with other people, you're probably not that competitive. And if you don't fish in tournaments, you probably don't deal with this that much. But like, a great example. A great example. We were fishing for KBF tournament, and it was Jeff and I, and we were fishing individually, but we were just hanging out together and fishing the same areas because that's just who we are. And so I'm having a rough day. Can I catch fish? Jeff's only caught like one or two. I've caught none. And it's tournament day, and we're like 2/3 the way, a third the way through the day. And I'm like, dude, this is bull crap. What is going on? And so I start changing things up, and I'm still like in the zone. I'm feeling good. I throw on an A-rig. I had my forward-facing sonar on. I saw a whole bunch of fish up a little high and on this point. And I was like, I found them. Finally. Throw up an A-rig. Throw it out 5, 6, 7 times. Nothing. No follows. I throw on a crankbait. I throw on a Texas rig. I throw on a drop shot. I throw on all this. I threw like 15 baits at these fish. Nothing. Jeff rolls over with an A-rig. Throws one time, 18-incher. I literally, I had like a fit. I was a child. I had to leave. I had to go away, eat a whole bag of chips, and just sit. I have it on film. Just pissed. I'm like, what is happening? That was my idea. I found those fish. And he comes in afterwards and catches the biggest one. Are you out of your mind? Like, I was so pissed after a whole morning of doing this, right? And it's just because I'm competitive and I'm a child, right?
Yeah.
And this is years ago. But anyways, yeah, dude, nowadays when stuff like that happens, because it happens all the time, I have great days, I have bad days. And when you're fishing with somebody else and they're absolutely hammering them and they don't sense that in you and they don't know how to handle, like, they don't know how to manage that, they're not helping. You want to use what I use? No, fuck you. I don't want to do that. I want to get this done. I want to figure this out. I'm tired of losing. Nowadays, I get this. It's like the red flag goes up, and I already know what's happening, and I know how to handle it because I do therapy. So I breathe a lot more. I totally change my expectations. Sometimes I just go to a totally different side of the lake. Sometimes I start just congratulating Jeff genuinely. I'm like, dude, hell yeah for every fish, and I out through the roof. And honestly, all that stuff totally changes my day. And honestly, I fish way better. I
Yep.
fish way better. Like I the video I'm gonna post for Friday, fishing St. Clair, scorcher morning. I was getting absolutely mangled by flies. I had fly bites. I had 7 black flies on me at all times.
You say
Could not
fly
come.
bites?
Yeah, just getting bit by black flies all day. And then there was this grass I've never seen before coating the bottom of the shore.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where all the fish were. There's like no baits that were working. They wouldn't eat top water, and I couldn't stay out of this grass. Could not stay out of it. Did my therapy stuff, stayed super chill. I caught nothing, and I mean nothing, but 2 and 3 and almost 4 pounders the entire day. And I probably caught 40 fish. One of the best fishing days I've had in years.
Yes.
I was testing a new rod that was like a jig rod. So I was just boom, boom, boom. Like I cut 2/3 of the fish out of the video. And 2 years ago, never would have got there.
Yeah.
No
Dude.
way. Therapy.
So, do you mind talking about your process a little bit before we move on? Like, because I mean, I do
No.
square breathing, and I go, do all that kind of stuff. But what do you mind talking about your process?
Yeah, so I do like meditation breathing. So I do like 3 and 5 out, 4 and 6 out, and I keep going until I can't go anymore, and then I start over. And then a lot of times I just start counting.
Yeah.
Have you ever just like tried to do math, like difficult math?
Yep.
Yeah, I just try and do like super hard math.
Yep.
So I'll try and count by like 12s, 18s, like 42s, like just random numbers, and try and count as high as I can until I can't figure out anymore. That takes you so far away from what you're doing so fast. It's nuts.
Yes.
It's crazy how fast you just be like, you get lost in something difficult. And then you're like, where am I?
Yep.
Breathing does it though. 99.9% of the time, if I just pull over and breathe for like 5 minutes, I'm good.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just call somebody. Like if I'm by myself, I'll call Jeff. I'm catching a fish. I guarantee it while I'm on the phone. Happens every time. Every single time.
That's a superstition thing right there. No, you
know how many videos I have of like I'm just fishing. Jeff will call me, fish. It's like it's the weirdest thing. That's like probably the only superstition that I actually believe in.
Just text him, be like, "Hey, call me real quick, dude.
Call me real quick. I need to catch one. You'll catch one."
That's awesome. No, I do a square breathing, and then I start with the like a nature notice, basically horizon line. And then the thing that breaks the horizon line, I've been looking at the water long enough, so let me look at something else that breaks the horizon line, like whether it be the land or the trees or whatever, bushes coming out, and then what life is going on in there, and then slowly make my way to the sky. Next thing I know, I've totally floated off my spot, but like I come back to my spot in such a better place. You know what I'm saying? It's square breathing's like inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4, inhale for 4. Like, and oh my gosh, dude, man, it helps. Like you wouldn't.
The other one that works really good is try and feel random parts of your body. So like try and feel your fingernails, sit super still, try and feel your toenails.
Yes.
Like try and feel the center of your back, like just in a weird way. And like this is really good meditation you can do. It's actually like for sleep meditation. You just literally hold as still as you can and just catalog how every part of your body feels. Like you go finger by finger and be like, this finger feels this way. And just trying to describe it as though you're going to write it down. It's so hard. Try and tell yourself how your cheeks feel. Like what the frick?
But that's what's called in the moment. Like that puts you directly in the moment.
Yes.
Like
it works super good.
Yes, absolutely. I love it. All right. Sorry. We'll get back to the questions. My bad.
No.
What's the biggest mental or emotional block for you?
Oh yeah. So I will get in arguments with people unintentionally, and I have a really hard time not doing it. And my whole thing is like, I'm trying to create like a common understanding, but it comes off as an argument. And I'm literally just trying to understand. Like I'm literally just asking you questions so I can figure out what you're saying because I have no idea what you're talking about. Like I'm just trying to build a bridge, but other people see it as like, why are you arguing with me? And I'm like, I'm not actually arguing with you. I'm just trying to get both of us to the right answer. And I have no idea what you're talking about. And so I have to like stop what I'm doing, pull myself back, and be like, this person's gonna get pissed if I keep going. I need to cut this off. It's not important.
Yes.
And that's actually super hard for me to do. That's like the ADHD actually part of me is like,
The
I'm literally
hyperfocus.
just I'm focused on figuring this out. Why are you so angry?
Yes, dude.
And nuance is like lost on people. That's the other thing. It's like a problem. I'm not saying I'm like smarter than people, but like if I explain something that's very nuanced and doesn't get through, I'm like, I get mad that they think that I don't understand what's going on. And in reality, you don't understand what I'm saying. You just can't. You're not getting it.
Yep.
That's so hard for me. I get so angry.
I can relate. That goes on in my household on a regular basis. Why are you arguing with me? I'm not arguing.
I'm not. I'm just asking you a question.
And then it'll be like, stop. Just stop focusing on that and let's finish out the. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Well, we're coming back to that, right?
we are gonna finish this song. No, we will not.
I was born a natural debater. You know.
Facts. Me too. It's a problem. I hate myself. It's so bad.
Oh god. All right. So where does fishing fit into this all now? And I'm not talking about like going out there and filming fishing. I'm like, you're gonna go out and you're just gonna go get a line wet for you.
Yeah.
Where does that fit in?
Not enough. We don't get to do it very often. But usually it's with my kids. Yeah. So like usually like I'll take my son out, I'll throw him in the new canoe because there's room in there.
Yeah.
And we'll just go catch bluegill. That's all he wants to do. He likes to catch bass, but like he wants to catch fish that he can eat. So yeah, we're catching walleye, we're catching bluegill, whatever. I have a bunch of like random videos of me cooking fish. That's all because like Walker wants to eat them. I mean, I love to catch fish and eat fish, but I never have time for it. So when I do have time, that's what we're doing.
I saw you crawdadding with him the other day. I was like, yeah, dude.
So fun.
Oh.
Yeah, just getting him outside is great. And like he got pinched so bad, dude. He was crying and everything.
I was curious. I was like, how'd that pinch go?
Oh yeah, he got wrecked. But dude, he was a monster. I can't believe he got back at it. And he grabbed the other one, the bigger one, and he actually held it like the right way. I couldn't believe it. I never thought in a million years he'd get back on there and do that after getting shredded by one.
Yeah, dude. Oh, dude, that's awesome.
That's cool. Awesome. That's the best. Oh yeah, I took him to the. You heard of a pump track, like a bike pump track?
Yeah, we got a bunch of them out here.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. So he wanted to go to one super bad, and I took him, and he had a mountain bike, and he was on there, and he got dumped on the first one because he went too fast and he didn't hit the brakes. I modified his bike, lowered his seat, turned his brakes up so that he could actually get at him and all this other stuff. It took me probably 20 minutes to get him to do one little hill. Mm-hmm. And then by the time we were done, he did the whole track and fell at the end and was totally fine. And I was like, oh, thank God. Because whenever you don't have success after that moment, you're like, he's never going to get back on there again. He's never going back. He wanted to quit more than anything. And I was like, no.
Yep. Oh, yes. No,
in the nicest way.
Immediately get the term, get back on the horse. That is it is exactly what that is. Like, yeah. Also, I was told to tell my son when we get to pump tracks to do the whole thing as slow as you possibly can without falling.
Yeah.
And then you do it a little bit faster.
Yes.
A little bit faster. And that way you know
what you can handle and what's going to make you fall and where you need to be on the turns.
Yeah, because he's just like you and me. He's just going to get on the bike and go as fast as he can. Like,
why? What are brakes?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, yeah. All right. So at least you're getting out with your boy and like you fishing and doing.
My daughter loves it too, dude. My daughter actually will go out just as long as my son. It's crazy. They'll both go for an hour or two. I can't believe it.
That's awesome.
I can't believe it.
Yeah. No, it's you know what? At the same time, like they love doing it because they're doing it with you.
And they're eating meat sticks and chips and candy and stuff. But yeah.
All the snacks. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
I'm trying to modify the RVR right now. I'm trying to figure a way to get the seat a little bit more forward so I can get my boy in the RVR and then I'll take the PWR and we'll just go. Because he really wants to just drive it himself. So,
absolutely.
We'll figure it out, bud. I'll make it work. Just put 2 kayak cushions on it. Right,
dude.
So, all right, man. So tell us one thing that no one knows about you, like a window into who you are.
Oh man. I think probably the only thing about me that's actually even semi-unique is the fact that like I truly approach every situation believing that I can do anything. Now, to what degree? I'm pretty realistic with myself, There are not many things in this world that I'm like, I don't think I could do that.
Yeah.
Like literally, like I can't do that. There's not one.
Nice. I love that. That's more people need to have that. More people need to have that.
That's why I think it's something that's more unique. So if somebody was like, "Hey, you need to learn how to build bridges," I'm like, "Yeah, I can figure that shit out. I'll figure it out." Yeah. If someone was like, "You have to learn how to be a therapist," I'd be like, "Oh, I'll figure it out."
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea what we're doing, but like, I'll figure it out at some point. I'll figure out there's a way.
Yep, I'll do it. Dude. You and me talking DIY all the time. Like, yes,
we'll figure something out.
Yeah,
it won't be perfect, but we're getting it done.
Dude, by the way, those light coverings, my buddy had some problems, so he's handling some family stuff right now. But
sure,
they'll be on their way shortly. I swear, they're gonna be dope. So it'll be
insane.
Fun. Yes, it'll be fun. I'm modifying it to where it's a clip on the back instead of like a full hole, so you can not only you don't have to like uninstall, reinstall, this kind of stuff. Also, if it's a clip, that means you can turn it and modify,
and point it in a different direction.
Yeah, but
super smart, dude.
All right, sorry. I'm back to you. I'm sorry. My brain.
Not at all.
When I talk to you, like my brain is always like, "Hey, by the way."
This other project.
Yeah, no. So the last one is a 3-part question.
Okay.
And it is the last one's about health. It's what do you do for hydration? Mm-hmm. What do you do for diet? And what do you do for mental clarity?
All right. So I am not like I have a very simple diet, but it's pretty regimented. So I live off of the like 80-20 rule. So 80% I eat very well, 20% I eat for me. And I don't really like candy and sweets, so it's kind of easy. But I basically eat like 99% of the time. My only goal with every meal in general, I want to have like 80% of the meal be protein and 20% of the meal be fat. And then carbs are going to leak in no matter what. So I don't have to worry about that because I'm already minimizing it. If I do that with every meal, I'm good. So protein bars for sure. I'll just eat a buttload of eggs in the morning if I'm going fishing. But even like gas station food, I can always figure something out. Not a problem. Yeah. And then I do. So we talked about hydration earlier. So I have sugar-free Gatorade and a giant like Yeti water bottle because I like to have cold water. And I usually bring 2 Gatorades with me. One that I drink and then fill up on my own with later, and then the other one's for actual hydration later.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta have.
And like, no, portable porta potty, and then on the. I know my internet's going out. This is frustrating. There we go. We're back. So on the mental health, on the mental health side of things, or on the clarity side of things, I used to listen to like crazy music. Like on the way to go fishing, I listen to audiobooks exclusively.
Yes.
And I will be so much more methodical in my preparation. I'm willing to do a lot of the small things because I'm not like over caffeinated, overhyped, overstimulated. When I get there, I'm still excited, but I'm not like shaking with anticipation. I can like actually do what I'm supposed to do. I can actually remember my like camera. I can remember whatever the 16 things that I was supposed to do, all of it, right? Yeah, all that stuff. It's so much easier when I'm not like overstimulated. So yeah, I'm very like, I know I need to chill out. So that's usually what I'm doing on the way. I used to do like my favorite music for like lifting, and like I can't do that anymore.
Yeah, dude, I love it. No, very similar. In fact, I have a book recommendation for you when we get off here. Only because you guys started this segment in your show the same week that I was getting ready to drop a show based around it. And I now have hopefully next week, don't quote me, but next week I should have the leading mind and the author of that people go to for research on superstition.
I love it.
And like the full biological science behind it. Like it's going to be amazing. Really fun. Yeah. So, but he writes he's written quite a few books, and like I'm trying to go through them. And if you're interested in the history of superstition, it's pretty cool. I'm
a nerd.
Yeah. Same. Like I need to know where everything comes from because I'm
absolutely.
So, but dude, Paul, thank you, dude. Now this is the time where you just shout yourself out. So like, where can people get a hold of you?
Yep.
If they have questions about anything that we talked about throughout the show or anything else, where are they going to find you at?
Instagram's the easiest way to get a hold of us if you actually want to ask a question, that or our live stream. So you can find us on Instagram, Facebook. I just fired up the TikTok again, so I'm going to start posting there again, even though I haven't in like a year. And then YouTube's the big one. We're Aggressively Average Anglers, or AA Anglers, all 3 A's, Anglers. Just like it is on the screen. That's the easiest way to find us. But we're going to be one of the first things that pops up when you type it in. So we're hard to miss. Jeff and Paul, Aggressively Average Anglers. You can find us pretty much anywhere. Live stream, Instagram, those are the easy ones. Comments, we answer every single comment, or at least acknowledge it with a thumbs up.
Yep, they do. They do. Trust me, that's how we started talking. So
yeah, man.
Yeah, dude. Dude, thank you so much, man. And like, I really appreciate you coming on here and being like open and vulnerable in general and genuine, dude. Like, that's a big deal. Like,
when people are not, it's like, it's frustrating to me. So it's easy. No worries. I think everyone should just be like a little bit more relaxed. And if you feel like everyone's judging you, you're just judging yourself. Take a deep breath. It's not that serious. It's just life.
Hell yeah, right? Dude, thank you, man. I'm gonna put you in the green room. I'm gonna close this thing out, and you know, we'll get you to bed pretty shortly. So thanks, Paul.
Yeah.
Everybody, that was Paul Glass from Aggressively Average Anglers, but he's Paul. He's the man. And thank you. I really appreciate you coming on here, bud. And like, he brought in a really good point, is always appreciate your partner. If you don't feel like you're appreciating your partner, you're probably underappreciating your partner, and probably should check in to, you know, see what you can do a little bit better. Again, shout out JT, shout out unnamed friend. I've been following you guys, and let me know if there's anything I can do for you guys, but I'm glad you guys are healing, and I'll give you this right here.
I'm awful face. And there's no one face. And there's no babies for a few days. There's some banana trees. There's some trees. Go my dada.